I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports headlines. This morning, Tom Brady announced on social media that he is retiring after 23 seasons in the NFL. Brady finished with 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 with the Patriots, 1 with the Buccaneers. He also retires with several NFL records, including most quarterback wins, most career passing touchdowns, and most career passing yards. Brady will now most likely transfer to the booth after he signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox. Tonight's Pistons-Wizards game has been postponed, with the Pistons stuck in Dallas following an ice storm. The NBA is also working with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are scheduled to play the Dallas Mavericks on Thursday. Kings road trip continues tonight. They are back in action against the San Antonio Spurs. You can listen to the game, starting with game night at 3:30 and tip-off scheduled for 5, right here on Sactown Sports. Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men. And now it's time for Deuce and Mo.
Sacramento. Live from Sacramento.
It's Deuce and Mo
on Sactown Sports.
We are live! Happy Wednesday, Deuce Mason. Alongside Morgan Reagan, it is a Wednesday show. We're on each day, 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. We got so much to go over today. Kings continue their road trip tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Sources saying that is the beam already on at Golden One Center?
I
think the beam is on.
I don't like this. This is dumb. This is dumb. Dumb way to start the show. Dumb way to start the day. No, we're not doing this. We're not throwing out jinxes and doing this stuff, Deuce. One game at a time. What would Mike Brown do to you right now? He would bench your butt.
Okay. So you're asking what would Brown do for you?
Yes.
Shut up.
I was going to say, Morgan, how you doing? But apparently you are ready to go today. You're charged up.
Not charged up like that beam. Is that where you're going with this? I don't like this, Deuce. We were just talking with Jason Ross how we got to take it one game at a time. Stop looking ahead at the Pacers.
Guys, I'm not even at some point, you guys, the whole sports jinx thing just has to stop. Okay.
Wait. There was something the other day that you literally, you didn't like when people are chanting light the beam at the end of a game.
Yeah, because the game, when it's a 10-point game, the game's not technically over. You're in the contest. But going into this game tonight against a Spurs team, the Spurs have lost 6 in a row, Morgan.
You guys, if this happens.
They have 14 wins this year. You think I'm scared of the Spurs?
They've lost the last 11 of 12 games too, yes.
Hey, Morgan.
What?
The Kings. And you chatters out there agree with Morgan. Do you understand? Your Kings are good. I know. It's a scary feeling. It's a little bizarre. It's something you haven't experienced.
No.
They're 20-21. They've got one of the best road records in the West. You take care of business tonight. It's not me jinxing it. I'm just saying going into tonight, you don't feel confident tonight.
Okay, that's one, do not ask that question while you're jinxing everything. 2, I do feel confident going into tonight, but you're acting real cocky over here, acting like the Kings are some championship team and they're just ready to hold up the championship trophy. You need to calm down, stop talking about the beam like that, and allow them to play basketball the right way, taking it one game at a time. Deuce, you would be the worst teammate to have because you would literally go in to San Antonio, you'd walk in, you'd be like, guys.
No, because
look at these losers.
As you know, I approach everything with seriousness, but you know what I do? I approach it with confidence. And when you walk into San Antonio tonight and you're a Sacramento Kings player, you're going, we're winning this game tonight. And if I'm De'Aaron Fox, hey, Dellavedova, be ready to play tonight.
Oh, my God.
Deontay Burton, you're on a 10-day. Get ready.
So if De'Aaron thank you. I said Dante. Yeah. Deontay Burton get to go in, then you know it's a good game. Then you know it's taking care of business.
Or it could be really bad. Maybe the Spurs could be up 40 and we're going, wow, it's one of those games, huh?
Oh, my God.
And I'm not losing sight that anything can happen in the NBA. Okay, just for the record, at the start of the show, I'm trying to provide some good vibes. Hey, talk about the beam. Oh, the beam could be on tonight. And immediately you jump on me I said something really offensive.
You threw a little jinxy jinx in there.
Okay.
Did he not, Chris? This is when I need you, bud.
Well, if you recall, I'm the one that said we need to start doing the light the beam chants way earlier.
Hate him too. This is not good. Go away. Done. Goodbye.
as Nick Cattles, who's in the chat right now, says the Kings actually have the best road record in the West.
Nick,
Yeah, if it was at home, I'd be worried.
I'm going to spit on this desk,
Oh,
okay?
Appreciate everyone joining us live, by the way. If you are in the YouTube chat, we appreciate you being here. Yesterday, able to get 400 thumbs up. I know that's not happening today, and it's okay. It's okay. I don't need
What is
100.
this?
I don't need 400. I mean, that's like a 50-point game, and well, maybe a 60-point game in the NBA, because 50-point games are
Damn.
happening all the time now. It's like a 60-point game. It's kind of rare. But what I want to challenge you guys to do is to hit the thumbs up, because all it does is help this channel grow. And so you're more aware of what we have going on all day long on Sactown Sports 1140 with live and local coverage starting at 6 a.m. with Dave and Jason. Then you got us 11 to 2. And then, of course, Cattles and Rami that start right after us at 2 p.m. So
Let's
make sure you're
go.
locked in and you know what's going on. Hit the thumbs up, help this grow, and make sure to subscribe as well. Yeah, I do feel confident headed into tonight's game for obvious reasons. The Spurs are not a good team, but, you know, they do some things that hurt the Kings. I was just talking about with Jason, right? Second chance points. Pretty good at that.
Mhm.
Offensive rebounds, points in the paint, all things Kings struggle with. I am eager to see the Kings' approach to this game, because the point you're making is right from this regard. Like, you can't walk in thinking you won the game.
No.
I'm eager to see this Kings team build off what they did against Minnesota, because if they play defense against the Spurs like they did
Yeah.
against Minnesota the other night, it's going to be great. The problem is, if you're a Kings player, do you get up for a team that doesn't have Anthony Edwards or D'Angelo Russell or Rudy Gobert? The mindset has to be appropriate. And that's what I want to see that tonight.
And you asked, like, do you get up for these games? If you don't and you are in Sacramento, then you should probably go to some sort of sports therapist, because really, you think about what this city has been through with this organization, with this team over the years. And as a player, as a competitor, really is where I'm getting at, is you should really, truly understand that and want that. And if you don't want that, bye, go on to some other team. I don't think that's here on this roster with the Sacramento Kings. And Deuce, you know what else I would like? Not only to have this great game, so then you get to see Delly get his minutes, or however you want to go down the bench. If the Kings are trying to showcase anyone as the trade deadline comes up, I would love for those guys to get their minutes tonight.
I think the showcase thing is so overblown.
You think we talk about it too much and it's not really a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, let's just play this out, for example. Let's just say tonight,
I disagree.
Rashawn Holmes comes in and he provides a great spark for the team,
Yeah.
and it's in a blowout win. He has a double-double. I don't think anyone's going to go. Any GM's going to go, you know what? Maybe I will trade for that guy now. I think people pretty much know
For
who
sure.
these guys are. There's so much film on these guys. They talk to agents. They talk to other teams. They talk to their scouts. You pretty much have a good feel for who guys are at this point, and showcasing, to me, I don't know. I just don't buy it.
You know what? The only reason why I buy into the showcasing a little bit, and not like they're like, if you don't get him 5 minutes for me to see him, this deal is off. Sometimes maybe it's a little bit more like, do you trust him enough to play him? Do you feel comfortable putting him out there and putting him in the rotation at all too? Like, why would I, if you're not even feeling that way about him? So I think sometimes there's a little bit of that reverse psychology that goes on there, but also I believe, and we should have some like former NBA scout on or something and ask him about these things. So I'm curious, like, if there are those little sneaky manipulative things that go on to try and convince a team that a player is this great, and that's why you should give us this.
And I'm not saying teams don't try to showcase guys. I just don't know how effective it is.
Okay.
Like, if I'm a GM, with Rashawn Holmes is a great example of this. If I'm a GM and I've seen Rashawn Holmes enough and I like him,
Yeah.
but he hasn't performed well over the last year, if he comes out and has a good game or a good stretch of games for 3 games, I'm not automatically going, oh, okay, I'm going to give up more to get him.
For
What
sure.
I'm going to do is, I actually have some interest in him now because I think he can be in our building and produce. We can put him up in a situation that will help him and help us. But I'm still not giving up more to do it,
Yeah.
because he has 4 games doesn't change anything, right? I need to see more of a sample size over last year, you haven't seen that. So that's where I think the showcasing is overblown. I do think there are teams interested in Rashawn Holmes. It's just, all right, what are the Kings going to take back? And what are the Kings going to do to entice some team to take on that deal? These GMs, they're trying to win deals. They're trying to get the best deal possible.
They're like, but what if it's more like along the lines, prove to me that he's not injured. Prove to me. Showcase him. Show him, won't you? I don't know. I just think sometimes a lot of that can come in to play. Just those NBA minutes are really important. They have their film from last season. It could be whatever. But you're right. Someone like Rashawn Holmes, for example, he has his big game against the Lakers. Someone like Terrence Davis has his big game on TNT. You know, like these guys have enough to showcase what they're capable and what their flaws are as well.
We got a couple people on our YouTube chat. Appreciate you guys being here.
What up?
Mentioning that the Sixers have interest in Rashawn Holmes. I need a link to this story. Maybe I missed it. I would love to see it. But, you know, you look at the Sixers situation, you have Embiid. Last year, they had Drummond for a stretch, right? But, like, you can make the case they need some additional size behind Embiid for sure.
Absolutely. And if they went in that direction with Rashawn Holmes, you think about how, let's just say James Harden, for example, let's say they find a way to keep him there. Daryl Morey is his guy. And you have a lob threat. You have a guy in James Harden that is and can be an incredible playmaker and has relied more on his playmaking ability throughout his later years with just, you know, not having the same shot or the same explosiveness, but he still has that craftiness to get into the paint, create, and throw it up to a guy like Rashawn Holmes. And think about the pick and roll numbers with Joel Embiid and James Harden are absolutely way high up there. Think about putting him next to Rashawn Holmes. Wow. Am I selling Rashawn Holmes to the Sixers? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
No,
I wish you weren't a liar.
I think we're both of the belief that Rashawn Holmes can help a team. I think he can help this team. It just, for whatever reason, they're just like, we don't see it. Too many defensive breakdowns at times. I think so many people are like, no, he just hasn't played well. Like, has he had a long period of time to show what he can do? Have the Kings put him in the best position possible to highlight his strengths? I'm not saying you need to build a whole offense around him. I know you got this motion offense, but when Rashawn's in the game, maybe you run some different things, a little more pick and roll. We saw that floater was lethal when Halliburton was here with him. So
lethal.
We got a lot to discuss.
And the one game they did, he had a Rashawn Holmes game. Like, he didn't miss.
Double.
He got the rebounds. He was good.
It's true. It's true. Showcased him in that game.
Yes, they did.
We have a jam-packed show for you. Anthony Slater coming up at 1. We got to talk a lot of Kings today as they continue the road trip against the Spurs. Plus, Morgan,
what?
You mentioned the name Tom Brady. It's not a celebration with her today.
Oh, my God.
And I'm curious how the chat feels. People, if you want to call into a 1-800-920-1140, I get the sense there's a lot of people that are going, cool, Tom Brady retired. Move on. It's interesting to me. Like, he's not getting much love today. We're going to talk about that. We're always live on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. We'll be back in 60 seconds. It's Deuce and Mo. Hey, YouTube chat. Let's see. Holmes for Thibault and Shake Milton. I mean, yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
We are live. Tom Brady. So funny.
What's the poll question say? I put a poll question on.
Let me go to it.
The YouTube page about this. What does it say? Oh, it's not there right now? Dude, what? Every time I post a poll question
let me just see
on Sactown Sports' thing, it like disappears. Drew says, this is Northern California. Why should we care? He never did anything for my team. Dude, completely fair. I get it. It's just funny to me.
Anything for my team. Oh, there we go, Deuce.
You got it?
Yeah.
71% of the people who voted say they're over it. I love you guys. No, because it's so true.
Not only me.
I think today it's just like nationally, it's like Tom Brady, what he meant for the game. I'm like, we did this last February, though. It just happened.
No, we just
did this.
It's like he died, and then he came back. He died. Now we have to go.
All right, here we go. Oh.
Sactown Sports.
I can't tell you as a kid how much I loved this song as a kid. Wake up, wake up. It's the
Wait,
first of the
that's not what
month.
song it is?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it
Bone
is?
Thugs? Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Keep it
Because
to me.
today.
I mean, that's
It's February 1st.
Oh, okay.
What's the confusion? How are you going to say it's not the song? It is. I knew it. Chris played it.
Hey, I didn't. Yo,
It's amazing to
Yo,
me. Just for the
I did not deny it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yo, listen.
Let's acknowledge that Morgan knows some obscure ass Lindsay Lohan song, but that Bone Thugs is classic song. I don't think that's it.
I
think that's
grew
it.
up listening to Bone Thugs all through high school.
I'm sure.
I
Through
did.
high school. I was like 6 years old
Oh,
with
well,
this
yeah,
song. You were late to the party
I was very
at my
late.
crappy apartment complex
I know.
in Carmichael.
I
Listen,
know.
we were bumping this.
Yeah, I know.
Why did I say that?
We were bumping
We were
this.
bumping this. I swear.
You're so cool. I know, and I'm listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony before basketball games. Okay.
I was laughing at some of the reaction in our YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes ago during the break because we always stay live on the YouTube page. For those listening to the radio, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Because we're asking about Tom Brady. We put a poll question like, hey, do you care about the Tom Brady retirement story? Yeah. And like overwhelmingly people who have voted so far are like, no. Like 71% of people say no. In case you missed it, yeah, this is not like a repeat from last February 1st when Tom Brady retired. He went on social media today and said, I'm over. I'm done.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much to every single one of you for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
I was ready for him at the end of that to go, and by the way, please check out my movie that's coming out soon.
80 for Brady.
80 for Brady. It's about 4 elderly female friends and longtime Patriots fans who travel to Houston to watch their hero Tom Brady and the Patriots play in the Super Bowl. And please watch that trailer and cringe with me.
Can I
Go ahead. What?
Just
What?
really
What?
quick
What?
about that though. I really hate that trailer for women in sport. Like they're like, yeah, it's best friends, women watching sports, and I'm like, no, you're downplaying like actual female football fans that watch sports and watch football and know the game. They're just talking about, oh, but he's cute, and then Gronk's in it, and they're like, he's a handsome boy, and it's like, we don't need to objectify everyone in this movie just because we're female fans.
Well,
Come on.
That's funny, Morgan. It's funny, right? They're 80 years old and they think these players are hunks and they're going to have some funny moments with them, you know?
It's going to be great stuff.
So glad he's retiring.
Brooke in the chat says, imagine blowing up your marriage just to retire again 6 months later.
Thank you, Team Giselle.
So it is interesting because normally someone like as iconic as Tom Brady retires, it is a giant story. Part of this is because last year at this time he announced there's a big deal. Then he comes back and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, he played 23 years in the NFL, Morgan. All right, 7 Super Bowls, 3 MVPs. Even if you don't like him, can't we just acknowledge like we're never going to see, in all likelihood, a quarterback play 23 years in the NFL. Not only 23 years, but to achieve what he did because of how the game is. Like, guys don't play that long anymore in football.
I'll go for my cheap pops after I give him the love that he deserves, because you're absolutely right. Just from the standpoint of greatness and this athlete that lasted so long in one sport and did it at such a high level. You look at his resume, his numbers, there's so many great things about him. Truly. Like we were very lucky as football fans at times to witness such a great quarterback in this game.
I'm gonna be honest. You sound like Tom Brady on the retirement thing.
No.
It sounds so fake.
Can I be
it doesn't
honest?
sound real.
I don't want to be now that we're in sports talk. I think it's so ridiculous when people come out and they just have to have this strong take like he's an idiot, everyone hates him, all these things. I'll get to that part in a second. What he's done for football, amazing, awesome, love it all. And we already talked about this last year, so we're not going to talk about it again. And what we're going to talk about today is 80 for Brady. We're going to talk about Team Giselle and how he seriously couldn't leave football just 1 year earlier to save his marriage and his family. What a loser. That's going to make lots and lots of money now on a broadcast.
And I know you're a Real Housewives and you love the drama. You're going, just to be clear.
Yeah.
You're breaking down someone's marriage, the end of their marriage, based on things you have read on social media. That maybe doesn't show the full picture of what maybe really went down between the two.
I'm adding it to my reasons not to like him, whether it's true or not. But hey, as they say on Real Housewives, where there's smoke, there is fire.
You love drama.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan does love drama.
I've got a different take on this.
Okay.
Oh.
Doesn't this prove that Tom Brady isn't the Michael Jordan of football?
How come?
Because when Michael Jordan retired, everyone was just like, oh, amazing. One of the greatest players of all time. Fantastic. He comes back. Everybody loves it. Retires again. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michael Jordan. How much you did for the game. You're so great. You're so great. Comes back. We love him even more and then retires again. Thank you, Michael Jordan. You are so great. You are so fantastic.
I don't feel like that. I think it's different.
Why?
The first time he left, I mean, who knows? There's conspiracy theories about that, but let's just say his father died, right? And then he stepped away from the game, pursued baseball. It was shocking when he retired. I was like, this guy's in the prime of his career. He's done? He's going to go chase baseball, play minor league baseball?
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back. I was like, oh my God, okay. The league needed this. When he retired the last time, I was like, okay, it's a transition time. When he came back with the Wizards, I don't feel like there was that same level of excitement. It was like, oh, he's coming back, but it's with the Wizards.
There wasn't, but there was still people down for it. I mean, he was still competing at a high level. He still found a way to make somewhat of an impact, even when he was with the Wizards.
Some people in the chat comparing it to Brett Favre, by the way. And yeah, Brett Favre retiring, coming back,
Also barf.
Yeah, at some point it just gets kind of tiring.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you acknowledge Brady's greatness while at the same time going, yeah, it was the end was kind of weird. Appreciate everyone watching us live, by the way. If you're in the YouTube chat, the biggest thing you could do is hit the thumbs up button. We should be at 100 thumbs up right now. So get the thumbs up because it helps the channel grow. You can also call us anytime at 1-800-920-1140. We're going to squeeze in one. Let's check in with Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good.
We're good, man. What's up?
I'm just curious because Morgan, I actually do agree with you. I've totally been turned off by Brady ever since pretty much he's left the Patriots. It's been all about him, and I think he blew it with Giselle as well. And
Woo!
I'm a girl dad, so I definitely take that way a little more too. But I do you don't have to be too upfront because I know. And you do a heck of a job on your post-game show as well. I love watching.
Uh-oh, where are we going, Bobby?
Yeah, this is setting up
I
to
love
be.
this setup.
I love you. You're
Yeah.
great.
I'm a girl dad.
Because I am a girl dad, so it's like I'm just curious though why, like, with the whole Barnes thing, with what he just did, like, should we hold him accountable for his behavior? Because it's like,
wait. Are you talking about like when he got into it with his fiance's ex who approached him and he spit in his
just
face?
Everything else, but that's just the latest one of his many, and it's like I'm just curious because it's like I just want to be consistent with that when like I feel like he gets pass after pass.
I don't
he
think
is good at his job. I'll give him that.
I don't think he's
But
gone
that
pass
was
after
like-
pass. Who's giving him a pass? I mean, what? We
mean-
weren't at the Niners game one. You saw the video and I was like, oh, what's happening? Do you understand? Like, they end up getting a restraining order against this guy
Bobby,
because he's been threatening.
And Bobby, what I will tell you, and appreciate the call and everything, but what I will tell you too is that over the years, a very misunderstood person with a spotlight shined on him, with people creating a narrative. And even in this last situation, there are just too many legal things that are going on. But let's just say people high up, even with the Niners, know what really went down and are ready and willing to stick up for what really went down with Matt Barnes.
I'd spit in that guy's face too. I appreciate you checking in, Bobby.
I agree. I just know that is just spitting on someone is like the lowest of low. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, but we don't know everything that led up to it either. I hear you, man. Bobby.
I know. Hey, that's fair. That is fair. I'll give you that.
All right, Bobby.
Hey, you do a great job. I do want to end it on that.
You
do.
Appreciate you, Bobby.
Love you. Got a couple of things I gotta pick. No,
I
it's
appreciate
fine.
it.
We can talk about anything, whatever. We got so much more coming up. We're going to be back in just a few minutes, and we always stay live on the YouTube feed, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Hey, YouTube chat. Oh, we're 2 away from 100. Get me to 100 thumbs up. I know we're not going to get to 400. It's fine. It's fine.
Ooh.
But yeah. Also, I saw this story coming back that
What?
I just can't wait to go over it with you. I just can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
I'm not done crapping all over Tom Brady.
Man.
No, I'm kidding. And appreciate it, Patrick.
Beam Team says,
have you?
Tyler.
Oh, sorry. Have you seen the story about that? How that movie got made?
What movie?
The Brady for 80. The 80 for Brady.
No, I believe it or not, Chris, I've not done a deep dive on the making of 80 for Brady.
So I saw the interview where they actually interviewed the women and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, these older women is a way that the games are a way that they became friends and stuff like that. It's like, this is like, how did they get involved? And then it turns out that one of their grandsons is like high up in Hollywood and got the movie.
No one's watching that
kidding
movie.
me?
No one's watching that
You'd
movie.
be surprised. You'd be surprised.
People are going to the movie theater to watch 80 for Brady.
There might be
I
some
think
old
at least
people.
like 12 people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beam Team in the
We
chat
should
says
watch it.
Brady will be hired as a quarterback/assistant coach with Denver soon.
No way.
There's zero. I just don't see. Hey, Sean Payton gets hired in Denver, and he's like, "All right, Brady, you want to come here and coach?" Brady's like, "I'm gonna go do the NFL gig for a year. If I like it, I'll keep doing it. If not, I don't know." It's a lot of money.
You were going to read something that Beam Team had to say?
That's what I just read.
Oh, nice.
I'm begging you to listen to the show, Morgan.
Oh, God. I think we should all hate watch 80 for Brady together. And what if we end up loving it together?
There's zero chance we will legitimately love it. We will love it for the cringe factor. And you know me, we're down to hate watch some things. I probably hate watch things more than I enjoy watching things.
Yeah.
Like I seek out bad content sometimes because of the cringe factor.
Yes.
And you can learn from it.
Bad
yes.
local news.
Hey. Well, bad local news.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Bad podcast. Oh, yeah.
Super fun.
I'm in.
Yes.
Bad
agreed.
movies.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
There's just something about it.
Yeah.
Get a little vitamin and enjoy life.
I will say this though, but bad comedies are hard to enjoy.
It just depends on if they were like pumped up to be awesome, you know.
Yeah.
If it was like a mainstream, but I like kind of the under the radar ones where you're like, you know, the budget wasn't big for this, and they
where the camera shot is different when they edit it and they cut differently.
Oh, when they have stock footage. There was one movie I watched where they had the same overhead shot. It must have been the first 7 minutes of the movie, just like stock footage. I'm like, I've seen that. That's available on Canva Pro.
Canva Pro.
Hey, thanks for the love in the chat. Tyler says, love you guys. Listen every day.
Dude,
appreciate that.
thanks.
Bradley, this is the best show on Sactown Sports. Thank you so
guys
much.
are
But
sweet.
give some love to the others too. Andrew says, love the show, guys. Appreciate all the love. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. We hate watch the Kings for a year. No, that caused me so much pain. We did a podcast last night that just came out today, right?
Oh
Morgan's
yeah,
typing.
yeah. It already came out. Morgan's typing what?
Morgan gets typing, and Morgan's multitasking skills are like.
This is not true, and we're not going to get into this.
So we were on the Purple and Black Pill podcast last night, and it was really fun. It's this Kings podcast that these two guys do locally, and it was just interesting talking about because they go way back with the team.
Yeah.
Even before us, because they're a little older.
They're 3 years older.
But yeah, it's crazy to think about this ride. Stand by.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Rillard with your Sactown Sports headlines. This morning, Tom Brady announced on social media that he is retiring after 23 seasons in the NFL. Brady finished with 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 with the Patriots and 1 with the Buccaneers. He also retires with several NFL records, including most quarterback wins, most career passing touchdowns, and most career passing yards. Brady will now most likely transfer to the booth after he signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox. Tonight's Pistons-Wizards game has been postponed, with the Pistons stuck in Dallas following an ice storm. The NBA is also working with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are scheduled to play the Dallas Mavericks on Thursday. Kings road trip continues, and they are back in action tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. You can listen to the game starting with game night at 3:30 and tip-off scheduled for 5 right here on Sactown Sports. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
Dude, it's pretty insane to think about that Brady gets a 10-year, $375 million deal.
Let me try again.
Yeah.
Rewind. Can you hit rewind on that?
Wait, this isn't live, right?
No.
Okay,
We're not
rewind.
live.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Welcome in.
Yeah, can you believe that Tom Brady signed a 10-year, $375 million deal to be the lead analyst on the A team for the NFL and Fox? He got that. He's never done the job before. How do you get a 10-year? It's one thing to get hired and, hey, maybe we're going to give him a shot. He's got a name. We're going to work his way up. He's never done it. How?
Do you really want to know how?
I know.
Okay.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. NFL,
Gas grab.
if you're a white quarterback in the
Mhm.
NFL, easy job.
Oh, white, good-looking quarterback
Oh!
in the NFL.
A team.
There's $375 million.
The one-
Anything you want.
And I feel like I'm taking away from some of these. Like Dan Orlovsky wasn't really like much of a quarterback in the NFL. He's got a primetime job on ESPN. He does his work. He does a good job.
There you
But
go.
my point, it is just funny how it works in the NFL.
Opportunities, man. Opportunities come up for people.
I appreciate you guys joining us today. We've got so much to get to. The Kings take on the Spurs tonight. The Ringer put out a list of the top 100 NBA players that caught our attention. We got to talk about that today as well. Morgan, I had a story today that it really got me.
Yeah, what?
Let's just say there was a JV high school game.
Oh, this is great direction. Okay.
JV high school game. They're missing a player. And sometimes you're missing a player. What do? You got to change your rotation a little bit.
Sure.
That happened at my high school. Sorry, girls. We got 4 players to play with.
Yeah.
You could maybe play with 4,
Yeah.
or maybe I don't know what you do. Well, they found a unique way. Just listen to the story.
Okay.
All right, file this one under one of the strangest stories I've ever heard of and talked about. Last Friday, we received an email from the mother of a player on the Churchland High School girls JV basketball team that an assistant coach on the team named Arlisha Boykins impersonated a 13-year-old player on the team that was out of town for a club basketball tournament. Here's video from that game. Churchland is in the black uniforms. Number 1 right there that just came up with the black block shot. We're told that as Arlisha Boykins. They were taking on Nansman River. This video has been edited to show you some of the highlights. Arlisha is apparently a 22-year-old young woman going up against 14 and 15-year-old girls. And we have confirmed that Boykins is no longer an employee of Portsmouth Public Schools. And since this game, the student athletes on the team and parents decided to just end the season. They will not be playing any more games this year. Portsmouth Public Schools did launch an investigation into this matter. The details have not been revealed by officials quite yet.
Nope, not getting serious. Just going to keep it here. Genius, savage, would do the same thing just to feel great about myself against 14-year-old little girls.
I was thinking about this. Any better feeling than being like 22 years old and just dominate? You would feel like
No
the
better
most
feeling.
amazing player ever. You just destroying
I
players.
would cook out there. I would be breaking little 14-year-old girl ankles just left and right, taking it to the rack, pushing them to the ground and being like, what? Get up.
I got some bad news for you.
What's the bad
What?
news?
They lost the game. They
Okay.
lost.
If you lose the game and you're a 22-year-old, Was she trying to like act like she was 13? She's like, hey, I can't be that good out there.
Yeah.
I can't be like 16-year-old. I have to be 13-year-old good.
So I got to see some of the footage that was going on from that clip, and she looked really tall, and she looked like definitely better, like she was coordinated. Obviously, she's 22 years old and probably played basketball if she was one of the basketball coaches. It's honestly hilarious, but also awful, because even Cameron said, bro, why did they cancel this season though? I feel that's where like, just to get serious, you feel awful. No, like truly awful.
You have to do it because you can't have the coaches anymore. Like,
yeah, I mean, so she loses her job. This is just,
and she was an assistant coach. The head coach was like, yeah, we're good.
No, you're right.
How does it come up too? Be like,
Everybody
hey,
approved.
hey, I know we're missing whatever the person's name is. What do we do? Like, who suggested, hey,
coach,
you kind of look like you're 13. What? Why don't you play?
I don't think you need like deniability. So it's just like, I mean, like, we could probably get away if you were on the team, but I'm not suggesting that.
Also, those, if we don't probably gave it away, her teammates, they're probably looking around like, this is weird. Like, are we going to get caught on this?
Thank you. Yeah. No, you're playing with 14 and 15-year-old young women. You think I like to gossip and love Bravo and drama? No. Little young women love that stuff, especially when you're part of a team. I was part of teams at that age, and it was like nothing is going to get, I mean, everything's going to be given to everyone, right? Information.
If this happened to an NBA team where an NBA team had to like put a coach into a game to play, who would be the like best NBA head coach to go out there and give you some minutes?
Okay, this is good.
I think it's Chauncey Billups in Portland.
What about like Jason Kidd isn't in the same shape though.
No, but I mean, you're just talking about give you some minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about who would not be in there for sure.
Tibbs, for sure. No.
Could you imagine Thibodeau out there?
No.
Willie Green could give you some minutes.
You think Steve Kerr could stay in the corner and shoot some?
He's a little fragile. He's got a bad back.
You're right.
You hit him once, he breaks
He's
and
done.
folds over, and like he's done.
Yeah.
There's actually Steve Clifford definitely could not play.
Mike Brown was pretty fast in that video when he turned on the Jets.
No, he stopped. See, and I knew you were going to go with Mike Brown because you're like, I love Mike Brown. We got to slobber over him. Mike Brown, if you had to put him in an NBA game, probably wouldn't be great. He played physical.
How would Doug be? If you shove Doug Christie out there?
Doug Christie.
Yes.
The guy that in the biggest game of his career.
Oh, no.
In game 7. No.
I'm going to uppercut you.
In game 7, 2002, what did he do?
This is not okay. Doug better
tried his best.
He airballed from the corner. Unforgivable. I'm kidding. Doug could still play.
I wish Doug was here.
I can't even say that seriously. That was heartbreaking.
I remember talking. I think it was Matt Barnes said something like, "Oh, I can't play anymore. I haven't played in like years or something like that."
Oh yeah, no. Matt has said on the broadcast, he was like, "There's no way I could play. I don't play anymore." Even though he works out and he's still in shape.
I remember asking Doug, like, "Okay, when you retired, like, how long until you picked up a basketball?" He's like, "Oh, the next day." Yeah, like every day I pick up a basketball.
Really quick, Lindsey Harding asked the same thing the other day on the court, and I was like, "Okay, when was you still ball or whatever when you get workouts at the gym or here?" And she's like, "No, I don't need to touch a basketball anymore. Put it down for my last time. Good. Tied the shoes. I'm good." I was like, "Really? So like, do you get your fix rebounding for these guys?" And she's like, "It's not even a fix. It's just like the job." And
I think it's crazy that we always do that when it comes to like athletes, especially basketball. Like, hey, you guys still hoop?
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, I played my entire childhood. I went to college. I practiced every weekend. I played multiple games. I made it to the league. I had to travel. I did it for 7, 8, 10 years, whatever. I'm just done now.
Deuce, there were times though.
It's like asking a teacher, hey, you still teach?
No.
It's like, no, I'm retired.
But you just don't feel complete anymore as a person because it's part of you. And it's like when I stopped, I was lightweight depressed. I was like, I don't need it in my life. I'm cool without basketball. And then you're like, what's missing in my life? And you realize, oh, the love of my life. Basketball, Wilson, Spalding.
Voigt.
Doug Christie.
I didn't go to a good school. We had Voight basketball.
Oh,
yeah.
you poor thing.
Doug Christie could still play though. His knee's not great, but I think he'd play.
Yeah, he's still got it. But yeah, most coaches though in the NBA right now would not get away with playing in sneaking on a jersey.
Actually, I was just looking at the list of coaches.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. There are guys.
Who else?
Like if you were playing a pickup game at a gym, there's definitely guys that I think Jacques Vaughn could play.
Okay. Yeah.
Jason Kidd, Michael Malone. Dwayne Casey's a little too old, but he's probably got the old man game. Steven Silas, not concerned about him at all. Carlisle can't move. Tyrone Lue.
Yeah, Carlisle could. You know what Carlisle would give you really quick before Ty Lue? Carlisle would give you that like old man game where he's just like in the post, but he has a good feel and someone's cutting and he's like throwing it over his shoulder.
He's got the left hand air hook.
There you go. Yes, exactly. Where you're like, oh, okay, old man. Okay. Ty Lue, he's got a good feel for the game.
Yeah, he does.
High IQ.
We got so much to get to. We got a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the top 100 players list from the Ringer. Where they have some Kings listed. We'll go over it.
100? I think while we're talking about 100.
Okay, a couple of things real fast. I think you celebrate 100 thumbs up a little too much.
Me?
Yeah, you're like, yeah. I mean, it's clear like Chris's thing is just like it's like a cute thing. You start getting the 200 thumbs up, that's when I kind of perk up a little bit.
I'm celebrating everything in life. All the little wins.
Morgan,
wins.
we had 400 400 yesterday.
You said that's a 60-point game.
Yeah. But 200 is like, that's expected. And we have not done a show where we haven't had.
So you're saying it's like the Kings winning by 12 tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not great, but like they did what they were supposed to do.
All right. We got to talk more coming up. We always stay live on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Pop may give you buckets in a game of 21. Dude, don't you miss playing 21, man? 21's fun. How many games of 21 I played growing up?
I enjoyed playing 21. The only thing is, though, it's obviously a big game around rebounds, right? Because you got the free throw. And for me, being a 5'6" point guard, it was like once I'd get a rebound trying to go back up against most people, they'd have the size advantage. So it's like always I would have to exude so much energy back beyond the arc and try and come in and start from there and go downhill.
I was a better fan of Knockout.
Knockout was fun.
I love Knockout.
How great. I mean, it would suck when it happened to you, but when you hit a player's ball and it goes all the way across the playground.
That was unfair, and it slowed down the pace of the game, especially if you had a lot of kids playing the game.
It's the game.
It's not supposed to be knocked. It's just supposed to be like touched.
In high school, we had this game called War, which I'm pretty sure you can't get away with anymore. Where it's three players. It's 3 players, 1 ball, and you have to score. The first one to score, but you can like foul as hard as you can.
Yeah, that's not good.
So it's the idea is to teach of like finishing after getting contact.
Well, I mean, we did that in practice, like at like college practice, but not on the blacktop side.
Oh no, I'm talking about high school practice.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's okay.
Yoshi says Knockout was the best. Ryan says you were the worst type of opponent. I don't know if you're talking about me. Norm says listening live gives great echoes. I don't know. Is it echoing?
Let me hear.
I think people would tell us. What's up, Blake? How you doing? What's up, JJ Sub? I got hit in the nose and started bleeding playing Knockout. It's not echoing on our end. Also, before we get back, we got like a minute back. Let's get to 150 thumbs up, please. Appreciate you guys being here. We have Anthony Slater, one of my favorites from The Athletic, coming up at 1 p.m. Also confirmed for tomorrow.
Ooh.
Brendan Nunes from King's Pulse and King's Beat going to join us live in studio.
Oh, Brendan.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. What's up, Leandro? Nathaniel says, dude probably has radio and YouTube playing at the same time. Yeah, that would create some sort of weird thing.
What up, Sean? Bean Team says, get Sam Amick. We already had Sam.
We had Sam Amick last week.
Okay, you guys need to pay attention to all ego Ethan Page because he sounds exactly like Sean Cunningham.
No, he doesn't.
He sounds exactly
I don't
like
think so.
him. I've talked to several people who agree with me.
Really? I don't even know who it is.
You know Ethan Page more. You sound like such a cash sometimes.
Oh, I
All
know.
ego,
I know,
Ethan
but-
Page, part of the firm.
Yeah, but didn't know he's part of anything. Two, I
Former tag team partner of Scorpio Sky.
could
The best men?
Okay, yeah, but I can't tell you what his voice sounds like.
Sean Cunningham.
Just
apparently.
picture Sean
Yeah, yeah.
Cunningham.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he sounds like.
I don't know.
Have Sam again, and again. Great knowledge. No, he is great knowledge. So is Anthony Slater. Why are you taking shots at Anthony Slater? I know you're not. We may have some AEW people at some point, according to Chris. Patrick says, can you guys try and get C Webb on the show?
Yes.
We would love to have C Webb on the show. Yeah. Come back. Hit the thumbs up.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
Yes. It's Deuce and Mo live Monday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports. Live and local from 6A to 6P. Hopefully, if you're driving around, when you get to the office or you're at home doing nothing, put us up on YouTube, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Download the free Sactown Sports app. You know, Morgan, the Ringer put out a list of top 100 NBA players.
Oh, I saw it.
I was wondering where LeBron would rank too. LeBron last night, triple-double at Madison Square Garden. Lakers got the win. I thought the Knicks had that game.
That was in overtime, right?
Yeah. What happened at the end of regulation? Jalen Brunson,
yes.
by the way, all-star Jalen Brunson was cooking. So last play of the game, a forced shot by Julius Randle. What are we doing? What are we doing? You had a chance to win.
You had the ball, sideline out of bounds, 4.5 seconds left. Julius Randle just tries to go baseline and throws it up, and it's like Brunson's at the top, like, yo, I've been cooking. You can just hand it to me instead. But no, they got the loss in overtime.
If he makes the all-star team in the East.
Ooh, I like this.
And he has a good shot, I think. We'll find out Thursday when the reserves are announced. Hopefully Fox and Sabonis get in there. Jalen Brunson's got a shot. You don't think the Mavs would like to have another all-star with Luka? And it just goes to show you, I think the Mavs have some real thinking to do long-term when it comes to Luka. His greatness is undeniable. He has a chance to be one of the most special players we have ever seen in the NBA. I mean, think about his age. He's got 4 50-point games this season. He's awesome.
He's incredible.
But trying to make sure you may have players around him and have a system that's conducive where everyone can also thrive is important, because it's got to be tough seeing what Jalen Brunson's doing with the Knicks right now.
Jason Kidd was telling Spencer Dinwiddie the other day after, I think, that 53-point game or before it or whatever, for him, it was like, yo, you need to act like Luka isn't out there and just play your game. Because I think that's what a lot of players do when they are teamed up with Luka Doncic, is play a whole different game. When really it's like, no, let him do his thing, and he's going to, but you still have to somehow find your rhythm. It's not easy. And it is something that's weird style of basketball that is it's weird to watch, right? Especially when you're seeing someone like Jalen Brunson do so well with New York. And yeah, it just makes you think.
So the Ringer's top 100 NBA players, a panel of 4 people did it, including our buddy Kevin O'Connor. They claim that it's a year-round, around-the-clock ranking of the players making the biggest impact on the league right now. Making the biggest impact on the league right now.
Right now.
4 analysts participate, as I mentioned. Number 1, they've got Jokic. Number 2, they've got Giannis. 3, Steph Curry. 4, KD. 5, Luka. 6, Embiid. 7, Tatum. LeBron at 8. Then John Morant and Devin Booker's 10th.
Yeah.
I feel like, is Devin Booker getting, I love, you know me, I'm a big Devin Booker fan. How do we say he's making the biggest impact on the NBA right now when he's missed a ton of games?
Well,
Just
and
curious.
that's my only confusion, because I agree with his impact on a team when healthy, which he has mostly been healthy throughout the last couple of years. And when I look at that top 10, I feel like it's pretty good, right? Because we keep looking at right now. It's not like what is based on their resume, on their career. It's what impact they're making right now with their team. And yeah, Devin Booker is my only question on that one, but so is the next guy.
Who's the next guy that's questionable for you? Zion?
Well, Zion at 11, he's another guy that we just keep on going back and
What
forth
about
with the health.
AD at 12?
Right. Like we're talking about guys that make an impact right now. And it's like, well, no, they should be there if they were like, I mean, you're talking about AD before the injury. Yes, he would be top 10. Like the impact he was making with this Lakers roster is absolutely incredible. But when he's not on the floor, you can't make an impact. So why are you still top 20 at that point?
I think, to be honest, LeBron seems low just because
Okay.
I do think I know he's not the same guy when it comes to attacking the paint. But where would the Lakers be without him right now? Like, look what's around him. And I'm not saying that's all the Lakers' fault.
Yeah.
He deserves some blame too. But the impact he has had, they would not even be close to where they are right now if he wasn't there. Is he able to carry a team? I guess that's probably where they knock him down a little bit. Maybe he's not able to just do something that not many players can do, which is take a bunch of random guys around you and go out and win 50 games. I think because he's done it so many times in his career, that because he's not doing it now, we hold it against him. It's like, well, no, what he was doing, that's not normal. That's not normal. Not a lot of guys can do that. He did it for a lot of years in the NBA. He may not be able to do that exactly now, but I don't think you get knocked down because of it.
I don't think it's so much they are knocking him down. There's just players who are doing it even better right now. And you look at those players that are doing it better, I think it's deserved. You look at Joel Embiid. Sometimes with Luka, I go back and forth on because I'm like, he's sometimes the hardest thing to play with and can sometimes be the most magical thing to play with. Luka magic, right? Like we know about that with him. But at the same time, the impact that he makes with a team compared to just but then again, the Mavs are even where they are because of him.
Exactly.
But also, are they there because of him? You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear it. Well, you have to keep scrolling down to find someone on the Kings. I'm going to keep scrolling down, keep scrolling up. Okay, I'm at 18 now. No Kings. Okay.
Oh.
Dame Lillard at 19. Harden at 20.
Okay.
Tyrese Halliburton listed at 21.
Which is fair.
22, Jaylen Brown. 23 is when you get to the first member of the Sacramento Kings, Domantas Sabonis. Does that feel? Yeah, I was gonna say, does that feel a little low?
Yeah, no. It's definitely low. I mean, you look at a team that are they still third in the West? Wherever they're top of the West, right? You look at the impact that Domantas Sabonis plays and brings every single night. You know that impact is very important. Like, why would Pascal Siakam be at 17 when their team, when you look at their record, even though we know what he can do as an individual and his resume is better, but that's not what this list is about.
If we're talking about guys who are impacting the NBA right now, Sabonis had a legitimate case to be an all-star starter now. His team's the third best team in the West. The Raptors are a mess.
Yeah.
They've been so inconsistent. We've seen the good Raptors. We've seen the really bad Raptors. After Sabonis, you got Bam 24. And then you've got DeRozan 25th, who's on a bad Bulls team this year. 26, I think Kyrie Irving's too low. And the media, I get, they don't like Kyrie. They don't like how he deals with them. They don't like what happened on social media. Dude, if you watch basketball, you cannot tell me Kyrie Irving's been so impactful for the Nets, even with KD out. He has been playing at an unbelievably high level. To have him at 26,
I know
that's disgusting.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And no matter how you feel about Kyrie and where he's brought his team to another level, especially when KD wasn't playing, it's quite low. There's some that are just like, what? Are you watching Eastern Western Conference more than the other? I got questions.
So then we keep moving on. You go down to 27th.
You should probably wait. There's a lot I would love to break down about this. And I feel like if we go now, we're just not going to have enough time before the break.
All right, we'll talk about where Fox lands on the Ringers top 100 list. We got Anthony Slater coming up at 1 today, and the Kings play the Spurs tonight in a game that Morgan is more nervous about than me, apparently. I'm jinxing things because I was wondering if the beam was actually already lit. Do you think, could you see the beam if it was lit right now? Do you think, or is it too light?
No, I bet you the beam.
It's powerful enough.
The beam is that powerful.
Okay. What if, Okay. You don't think they should turn it on like right at tip off?
You're awful human being. You're awful. And you're jinxing the world.
Because it will still be a little bit light out, so you won't be able to see it all.
Okay, so
Chris-
you're saying like at 6?
Yeah, so like at sunset.
Yeah.
You both of you. Awful humans. Awful.
Yeah, people are trying to run. Oh, the Kings won. You check the score and they're like down 15 and be like, no.
And then everyone blamed Deuce and Chris. Blame Deuce
And
Chris.
that's how me and Deuce get fired
Yes.
from wanting the beam.
Yes.
All right, we'll have more coming up. We got to get to the rest of this top 100 list. No, we're not going all over top 100, duh. But we got to talk about some more of the surprises. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Beam team in the chest says Kings will win by at least 7.
By at least 7.
Oh, we got to 161 thumbs up. That's good. Can we get to 200?
Am I allowed to get excited?
We need to get to 200 by 12:30.
Oh,
Or it's not. It's
everything
just not our day.
explodes.
I mean, we got to 400.
Yeah, 400 is out of the question
if
today.
400's not happening. Can you admit 400's not happening?
No, I think anything is
It's
possible.
not happening. We're not
I think
on pace
if
for it.
if you guys really put your minds to it, you too can go on and where's my mom and dad? Can you guys go each make an account and go click a thumbs
be
up,
right back.
please? Like, I'm trying to make everyone happy here. Come on now. There we go. When it's tingle time. My God, that is such a good song. I am such a good singer.
It's definitely in your wheelhouse.
Dude, it's just like music to everyone's ears. Oh, 173, baby. Let's go. God, let's get to 200 before Deuce is even here. The purple and black pill. What up? They say, what a jam. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just trying to pump everyone up for your tinkle time breaks. Let's see. Drew says Kings will have a 15+ point lead after 1. Game will be tied at the half. Oh God, we'll be down by 6 after the 3rd and win the game by 12+. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I can 100% see that happening.
Right. It's a very.
It would be very Kingsy.
Right. It's very oozy.
Very oozy.
Very. Yeah, that would not be good. But then you got Coach Nick coming into the chat saying, why not light the beam? Because of course he's going to say that. Yeah, why not light the beam? But let's just not light it too early. Okay. Wow. Kosh is saying, I guarantee a beam sighting in Sacramento tonight. You guys, I'm just so curious where, as Kings fans, we got to this point in not even an entire season where we've seen a postseason run that we feel so confident in each and every game. Not each and every game.
Did you read the one that says, bro, why only win by 7 or 15? It's the Spurs. We are way better than them. We should win by 30
Thank
plus.
you. No, I didn't even read that one
It's
yet.
hard to win by 30
Should
plus.
by 30 is.
Yeah,
Like-
I've never heard anyone go, they should win by 30.
It's all I'm always stunned.
I need to stop. You're
You
right.
do.
No, because
do.
we are setting ourselves up. Could you imagine tomorrow if like Chris, like the Kings lose and then Chris puts together like a montage of me being so
I think
cocky
the
about
Spurs
this?
podcast will probably beat us to it.
Yeah.
They probably got their spies already watching us.
The last time the Spurs won a game, they beat the Nets, but Kyrie didn't play.
Okay.
Neither did KD.
Okay.
Before that, their last win came against the Pistons. Oh my God. This team, the Kings can't lose tonight. There's just
The Spurs don't want to beat the Kings.
no. So they're
Well, of course they don't.
Morgan,
because-
they have had 3 wins since Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christmas was a year ago.
Well, you laugh about this, but like, haven't the Kings been in this situation?
Yeah, and they're not now, so we laugh about it.
That's a good point. But now they're
We enjoy every one of these moments.
I love how it makes us so quick to just turn on the other bad
I
team
know.
in the NBA.
We're like, what losers. They suck. That would be awful to suck that bad. But at the same time, we're not in that boat anymore as of right now for the past couple months. Oh, I love Kings fans.
Hey, can you give me a poll question update?
Sure. Someone says Spurs spies. Drop a like.
Stand by, guys.
Ooh.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports headlines. Tom Brady calls it a career again. Today, he announced on social media that he is retiring after 23 seasons in the NFL. Brady finished with 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 with the Patriots and 1 with the Buccaneers. He also retires with several NFL records, including most quarterback wins, most career passing touchdowns, and most career passing yards. Brady will now most likely transfer to the booth after he signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox. Tonight's Pistons-Wizards game has been postponed, with the Pistons stuck in Dallas following an ice storm. The NBA is also working with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are scheduled to play the Dallas Mavericks on Thursday. Kings road trip continues. They are back in action tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. You can listen to the game starting with game night at 3:30 and tip-off scheduled for 5 right here on Sactown Sports. It is 12 o'clock. Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Yes, it is. It's hour number 2. Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan. We are live and local. No, you're not getting some tape delayed national show where they're going, hey, coming up in 5 minutes, we're going to tell you Tom Brady's top 5 moments in the NFL. I'll give you my list. What's yours? Hit us up.
We're not going to do that?
No, we're not. Actually, I did
Aw.
want your top 5 list of Tom Brady moments. No? You don't have one prepared?
When Giselle dumped his ass, that cannot be.
In all fairness, you should show some respect to him today, and you did. I'm going to give you love.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
We did put out a poll question on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SackdownSports1140. The poll question was what, Morgan?
Do you care about Brady's retirement?
66% of people say no. I'm over it. 34% say, yeah, he's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT.
It's just one of those days where it's like, it's a Wednesday. Tom Brady announces his retirement. And it's no knock on him. It's just everything that went on. I put it like this. It's like you're being told your grandma died. Then you're feeling like, oh my gosh, all this grief, you're processing, and it's like, no way, actually, she's not dead. She's just, like a vegetable or something. And then so you're like, oh, I already processed that she's gone. And then you wait a whole nother year, and then they announce finally that she's actually dead. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, I already processed it. It happened last year.
At what point did you realize that was a bad metaphor?
Morgan, it's amazing. You mentioned this with Jason at the end of his show.
Yeah.
And you brought it back. The second time you sang it, it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I
still think I would be pretty
sense?
heartbroken if that was my grandma.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Really?
At all.
You process it twice? Well, what if your grandma's not nice?
Okay, so all right, I forgot about that, grandma.
This story doesn't make sense at all, though. It just doesn't add up. There's nothing that relates. It's just like it's such a.
Well, it does relate. Tom Brady is doing a movie with a whole bunch of old ladies that are grandmas. There you go. Tie-in.
80 for Brady. 80 for Brady.
Do you think how he does it like how we sell the likes? Hey, guys, let's get to 150, 125. What if he's like, hey, if this movie gets to $200 million, I come back to the NFL.
200? If it gets to like $200, it would be a miracle. That movie's going to be terrible.
It costs like $26 just to rent movies like that.
For those in the chat on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140, let's get to 200. We are just a few away from 200. We got a lot to get to this hour. Kings and Spurs tonight. We're also going over the Ringer's top 100 player list. Where do they have the Kings? Sabonis was ranked at number 23. You had to scroll down, and you find De'Aaron Fox coming in at number 28. How do you feel about Fox at 28? I feel like that's pretty fair.
When I first heard that we had 2 Kings players
in the top 30,
even, it was like, that's great. That's exciting. You start seeing the list, you read their criteria and just how it says players making an impact right now. You can't deny De'Aaron Fox's impact in a game, especially when it matters most. And when it matters most is in the end of a game, right? Now we're seeing these games where he's consistent throughout 4 quarters, but in the end of a game, that the fact that you can depend on him, he's clutch, all those things have to come into play over some of these guys with worse records than the Sacramento Kings that are above him.
I feel like Fox will just never get the love he deserves unless he hits the three at a higher rate, like from the general NBA community.
Yeah.
Because he's at 33% right now, but he's averaging 24 points a game, 6 assists. He's also averaging a career high in rebounds at 4.3, a career high in field goal percentage at 50%, and a career best just under 79% from the free throw line. I see Halliburton at 21, and I'm like, look, I'm a big Tyrese guy. I like Tyrese's game, and I think he's on track to be a really special talent in the league.
Totally.
And I think on one hand, you look at what the Pacers have done since he's been gone, it maybe helps his case even more. I just have a tough time going, oh, he is clearly ahead of Sabonis and Fox. I think that, but I guess people just fall in love with like, hey, he could pass and he can shoot. And I think Fox gets knocked down a peg by people in this NBA community because he doesn't shoot the three consistently.
Well, and I'm reading a little bit more of the breakdown that they have next to De'Aaron Fox, and they put it's unfair to put all the Kings' woes on their best players' inability to shoot threes at a consistent rate, but that shortcoming hasn't exactly helped them turn things around. So there's a lot of good things about Fox. There's some things that they still put on him and they put on Domas Sabonis. And I also think it's the reputation that the Sacramento Kings have had over the years. And it shouldn't matter.
That shouldn't matter at all, especially with where the Kings are at. And like Sabonis, he should be higher. Sabonis is, if the season ended today, he's on all NBA center in this game.
Yeah.
And that means you're a top 15 player in the league. So for him to be at 23 doesn't make
well,
sense.
let's take a look at that. You look at the top in the top 15.
He's ahead of Anthony Davis.
That's my point.
Anthony Davis does not stay on the floor. If AD stays on the floor this year, that's different.
And you put AD, you put Zion, and this is in the top 15. You put Joel Embiid, and then Giannis, I mean, whatever, but Jokic, right? You look at the conversations that we've had around Domas Sabonis and even him being, top 5 MVP conversation. That's not only us saying that. Like, that is something that has just been like put out there because of his impact. That is only where I get to this list and I go, that doesn't show what those conversations have been showing.
We also have an update.
Oh, what?
We've reached. The streak continues. Every show we have done since returning, we have reached 200 thumbs up on the YouTube page. Maybe it's a fire.
Come on, make thumbs go up. Make them go up, up, up.
Thank you so much for the support. The YouTube chat is firing right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button because all it does is help the channel grow so more people see that we're going live and local all day long.
You guys are amazing.
We also talk to the people at 1-800-920-1140. Like our guy, Nick.
Oh.
Wouldn't be a show if Nick didn't call in. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Deuce and Mo? How are you?
Good,
We're good,
Nick.
man.
What's going on with you?
Well, I do want to see the Kings light the beam tonight, and we're going to have to win this game tonight. Beat the Spurs. Why not light the beam?
Do you think the Kings can beat the Spurs by 10 points?
Spurs are some losers.
Whoa!
Yeah, Nick. What do you think, man? Do you think it's even going to be close tonight?
Spurs are 14-37. They stink.
They stink.
He's not.
He's talking smack, dude.
Find the lie.
He's not lying. Nick doesn't lie.
Spurs will get blown out by us.
Okay.
Why not blow out the Spurs?
Why not, man? Nick, I do want to ask you this because I know you're going to have an opinion on it.
Oh.
How do you feel about Tom Brady retiring?
Pretty. I'm okay about it. I mean, Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady needs to retire because he's been playing for a long time.
Yeah, like go away, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
All
I like
right,
that, Nick. Good analysis.
All right, Nick. Well, I appreciate you checking in. You gave me even more confidence about this game against the Spurs tonight.
And Deuce, Emma, we'll see you on Night Chat tonight.
See you on Night Chat.
We will see you tonight. All right, we'll talk to you later, man.
All right, why not like to be?
Why not, Nick? The best.
You feel a little more confident after hearing Nick?
You know what's funny? Usually we only hear Nick after games. Hearing him before games, it's healthy. Yeah, it does give me a little bit more confidence because he's so right. It's so simple. Why not beat the Spurs? Because they stink.
Something that I wanted to do today, though, I think we owe hear me out. I think we, NBA Kings, I'm talking to Kings fans too. I think we do owe the officials an apology for the other night. And no, we spent a lot of the show. You don't walk out of here, Morgan. Don't walk out of here. Get here now. Come here. We're talking about this. We pile on the officials when they mess up, okay?
Correct. Too much.
I went straight to social media to slam the officials the other night.
That's wrong.
I thought Jade McDaniels, he did a river dance, as someone said, right? Our guy Steven said. The NBA last 2-minute report indicates that McDaniels did not travel on the play where he hit the three. And I went back and watched the video that was with that review. I don't think he traveled.
You ready?
I think it's fair that we apologize because we jumped them, Morgan.
No.
You're wrong. And it was bad.
Go to the 2-minute report because I love this. Deuce, this is what's happening right now. One, you're being manipulated by the officiating crew, by the NBA officials right now. What is this?
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. This is good. What is this? Yeah, I like it. Okay, so 1, manipulation. Okay? 2, you're falling for their, I'm the victim. We're going to have sleepless nights. Feel bad for us. Sorry. No. Here's the last thing. McDaniels, their description of the travel compared to what actually went down were 2 different things.
I disagree. Just for the record, the league says that McDaniels establishes his left foot as his pivot foot and legally lifts his right foot.
That is correct. He did that in this. If you guys go back, he had his left foot, the pivot foot, established it.
Yeah.
And had his right foot lifted. That's fine.
And I don't think it slid, Morgan. I think he
his
was
left
on. He spun.
Foot slid. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. And anyone that is an official out there, you can call in because a whole bunch of officials are probably listening right now. You can tell me if for some reason there is a rule about momentum and a foot sliding and that actually not being a travel, but it is deemed a travel in every level of this sport.
I don't think it was. I watched the review. I don't think he slid it. I think he was on his pivot, and I could see how you would be deceived by that.
And this is the other thing. He established that left foot as his pivot foot, slid it when he thought he was going to swing it to the corner, but great defense by the Kings stopping him from swinging it to the corner. So he slid it. His momentum is going one way where his toe slides, and then he comes back into shooting motion to shoot. It's a travel, and the refs are manipulating you.
So just to be clear, the NBA's last 2-minute report, which acknowledges when they get missed calls in the game. And by the way, acknowledge that they missed a call in overtime where Trey Lyles got fouled.
Correct.
When it was 1:14-108 with 1:38 to go. They're going to acknowledge that, but they're not going to acknowledge that they missed a travel. And this is some giant conspiracy.
This isn't AI that figures out what went down in the 2-minute report. It's just like when Bill Kennedy goes over to the replay monitor during a game and there's actually a foul, but he still has too big of an ego and has to say, unsuccessful challenge, it's still going to remain so-and-so's ball. It's the same thing. There's still human error to it, and that is wrong.
I don't think it slid.
It slid.
Okay.
Well, you can apologize to the refs. Refs?
Yeah, I won't be the better person, and I don't appreciate someone in the chat saying, is Deuce being paid by the refs to say this?
Yes! How much they get you for, huh?
JG says, we won the game. I moved on. Refs always screw us. The refs have screwed the Kings a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Let's check in real fast with Alex. What's up, Alex?
Hey, you guys wanted a ref's point of view. That was definitely a travel. I don't care how they paint that. That was definitely a travel.
Oh, just to be clear, hold on, Alex, just to be clear, Morgan, who's criticizing the officials, all the people criticizing, telling me how bad the officials are, and a ref calls in, and you're gonna believe the ref.
Well, right now, yeah.
Alex, what levels have you officiated?
I fish all the way from little kids all the way up through high school and adult league basketball.
There you go.
What division of high school basketball?
It doesn't matter. Do not listen to him. You do not have to answer that question.
Listen, there's been many times I missed a travel call, And you know what? You look at it and you go, God, I probably should have called that.
Yes.
You know, but then you just move on. But they just didn't have the balls to admit they made a mistake.
Thank you.
That's all.
No, you're
Time
right.
out.
You're right about that because it was just was it just the sliding of the toe, correct?
No, he changed his pivot foot.
No, okay.
Well,
Well, now
I don't know. I don't see. You guys are all confused.
He pivoted on one foot and then lifted up his other foot, which establishes 2 pivot feet, which is illegal.
well,
Well,
that
Alex,
is-
I appreciate your perspective, man. Thanks for checking in.
All right.
There's Alex, a former official. He's officiated from, little kids all the way to high school basketball, man. I'm just glad it didn't matter. The Kings did get the win.
They did get
It
the
doesn't
win.
matter. It technically doesn't matter. We got so much to get to. It's Deuce and Mo. We're back in 60 seconds, and we always stay live on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. YouTube chat. Curtis says he actually lifted the. I don't
yes,
think
it wasn't you guys. He slid the left foot, which he established as the pivot foot.
Whatever fits your narrative, dude. Whatever makes you feel better. I know it's the in thing to do to dump on the officials.
No,
but when you're wrong, you're wrong, and that's how I look at it.
How many times do I even believed you when you started telling me? You're like, dude, Morgan, I watched it over and over. Hold on.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you which foot. The left foot slides. This foot's going to slide.
Where does it slide?
Right there.
He's on the tippy toe of his foot, dude. It's planted. It's planted.
And even
One,
watch from this angle.
It's planted. He goes 1, 2,
Watch from this
3-pointer.
angle. Watch from this angle.
That angle could fool you.
That's the same thing.
You're paying attention so much to the upper body. You're seeing his
no,
wiggle.
I'm
where
paying
he
attention to the toe. The toe slid. It's just like to you guys, though, what I will say, there's guys that dive on the ground for the basketball and then they'll roll over. Sometimes a ref will call it a travel and the other times they won't. It's supposed to be deemed a travel. Sliding your pivot foot like that?
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Deuce, Mason, Morgan, Reagan, and we are live each and every day, Monday through Friday, here on Sactown Sports. It's getting hot during this break. We're live on the YouTube page. People calling me corrupt because I apparently been influenced by the officials in the NBA. I'm just saying one time I don't think they got it wrong. I'm not going to keep belaboring
That's
it. We
fine.
had to-
That's fine.
Hey, agree to disagree. And I'm just glad it did not impact the Kings.
Me too.
They won the
I'll
game.
give you that. I'll
But
give you that.
Some of these calls have impacted. I think the biggest thing with officials that does need to be talked about more in the NBA, they're in a weird transition period, I think. And I think it's because they've had a lot of long-term officials retire over the last couple of years. I mean, even someone like Ken Mauer, and this was public, he did not want to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And so he left the NBA. Ken Mauer had been an official for a long time in this league. And I don't know how many others did because of that, or others who were just like, yeah, I'm ready to retire. They had a lot of long-time officials. So now you're asking like officials who probably aren't completely ready to be in the bigs.
Absolutely.
They go from they're officiating a G League game in front of, let's be honest, 300 to 1,000 people maybe. The stakes aren't as high. You don't have crowds on you. And the crowd at a G League game, they're not going at the officials. You come to the NBA, this is the big league. You got LeBron, you got Jason Tatum.
This is it.
Stars everywhere. You got 17,000 people on top of you. They're all yelling. They already don't like you when you walk through. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just acknowledging that I think the NBA is in a really tough spot right now. And I also don't think it's something they want to acknowledge as a league. I think they're so focused on, no, we don't want to acknowledge it's in a bad spot because we don't want people not to trust the game. But the reality is they're trying to get people experience at
the highest level.
Yeah.
And that's a real challenge to do. And then big picture wise, there is a ref shortage in our country because nobody wants to be an official.
Why would you want to
look
be?
at what happens in youth sports, at soccer games, football
Disgusting.
games, to umpires, to basketball officials. It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. At that level, you don't even make enough money. And then you get to the next level. Let's just say the next level besides college, you go to G League even. And even in G League, your schedule, the way that you travel, all of that is just insane. So then when you do become an NBA referee, sure, you're getting paid. Obviously, that is backing it up. It's making it all worth it. But getting to that level, you're having that shortage of people developing and evolving with the game as well. But also I want to go to, you mentioned it, you got all these big stars, LeBron. I mean, I say LeBron and that's it. You know what I mean? KD, whoever you want to go with, right? A lot of these officials are younger, and you think about them growing up in basketball, most likely because they are a basketball official, and you're gonna idolize and enjoy and have your biases towards some of these players. It shouldn't play a part, but because we are in a different world where, you know, it's just everywhere on your social media, on your TV, personalities and everything, you might not like someone or you might love someone, and then you might alter your call.
Also, I think it's less about that because I think officials, you maybe don't get, but what I would bring up the point of this, the intimidation factor. Morgan, when you first got into the broadcast business and you had to interview Chris Webber for the first time.
Oh, God.
There was like, oh my God, I'm nervous. This is a lot, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have that in you.
Yeah.
Where now you've been doing this for a long time. If Chris Webber came in, it would not be a big deal.
We just chop it
You
up.
need the reps of dealing with it. You're asking these officials to get real-time reps now, and that is a significant challenge.
Also, I just want to let everyone know we would not just chop it up. I would still feel something, but at the same time, you're exactly right, though. It's the experience that allows me to, although I may still feel something, I'm going to still do a better job because I've had those other moments. I've had those reps. I've had the experience. So, yeah, it's a tough situation, not only for the league to be in, but also when you look at these officials and you just humanize the situation for a little bit. It's sad. I mean, you hear some bad times where there's like weird people out there, and there's just weird people out there that are like threatening them and like putting their addresses out there. That's just weird. It goes to another level. That happens everywhere in life though, unfortunately.
Appreciate you guys being with us each and every day, and spread the word. I appreciate you guys in YouTube too. Let's hit that thumbs up button. Let's keep it growing. I don't appreciate Brent, to be honest.
What did Brent do?
A radio show on YouTube? This is awesome. Was that a shot?
No, that's a compliment.
How many times? Morgan, how many times do I have to say this is not a radio show?
You're going to have to. Here's the thing. Can I be honest? I'm going to be honest for a second.
Please.
We are in this world right now where radio people haven't evolved the definition of radio. And that's something that we have wanted to do for so long. And
it's a show that's on the radio. It's on an app. It's on YouTube.
Go. It's just on a different platform. It doesn't mean it's a radio show.
Brent says it was a shot.
Brent, I swear if I could come through that,
you'd
be sorry.
I do have another question for you guys in the chat. We've been talking a lot of basketball today. A huge news in the WNBA. Brianna Stewart has left the Seattle Storm and is headed to the New York Liberty. And it's a big deal, right? They just formed a super team in New York, a super team with the Las Vegas Aces. You got Candace Parker going to the Aces. They just won the championship. But here's my question for basketball fans out there. Today, we are celebrating. I go on social media. I'm watching NBA Today. Everyone is talking about, oh, this is so awesome. Brianna Stewart is going to the Liberty. This is great for the league. I can't wait for this matchup, Aces and Liberty. Why is that narrative different in the WNBA? In the NBA, KD leaves to go form a super team, gets blasted. Any other NBA player gets blasted. My point to this is I feel like in the NBA culture, we pick things apart and crap on guys, where the WNBA actually celebrates like their athletes and the excitement in their game. It's just a weird thing that I noticed. It's like, if this happens in the NBA, it's a big story, but people are like, what? like Stephen A is going off about it, or
Yeah.
Skip Bayless. It's like a
Ring
huge,
chaser.
Yeah.
No. And for Stewie, who is one of the best iconic basketball players in our world, not just in women's sports. It's a huge story, and it's a huge day for the New York Liberty. I mean, you had KD on a podcast talking about like, Stewie, come to New York, because he knew what that meant, not only for New York, but for the W. And it is interesting to see how we do celebrate these moves for these athletes. Thank goodness we do. Like, women's sports do not need any more people crapping on them for any stupid reason. So I'm glad that we do. But when you do look at the NBA and what we do to these men who make these same business decisions for themselves, like, we forget to humanize it. It's like they're just so on a different level where you're just like, they are object, we yell at them.
So I just think it's cool that it is being celebrated, because
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
I mean, look, they got her on NBA today,
Yep.
you know? So it's just one of those things for all of basketball, a great day.
All right. We've got Anthony Slater from The Athletic joining us at 1 p.m. We'll be back in a few minutes, but you can always check us out live on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo live on a Wednesday. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, PBB TV. We're not going to actually get mad at you. I'm just going to tell you something. Like, WNBA jokes may have killed in like 96. It's like, you just sound like an insecure, like trying to be an alpha male here. Like, hey, it's okay to like enjoy all forms of basketball. I love the sport of basketball. And if you don't think the WNBA's product's been really good the last 5 years, it's exploded, then you just don't like it, and that's fine. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to be like, no one cares about the WNBA. It's just kind of, you're not cool if that's your stance. Like, it's not.
Well, no, but you know what it is these days? What I love about it, the people that do have those stance, is that now, because so many people do have knowledge about how important the W is and how good it is, people just crap on those type of people and go, oh, you're so stupid. You don't even know
cringy.
What's cool, like what's happening.
And PBTV, dude, it's insecure. Check the rate. Again, I didn't know you have to like look at ratings to enjoy a product. So do you, before you actually watch a show, do you look up Nielsen ratings for every show and go, look at the ratings here? Can't watch it. It's a WNBA. Yeah. Guess what? The WNBA's product has taken time to develop. Just like, go watch the NBA, go look up YouTube NBA in the 1960s and tell me if that was a good product. Believe it or not, the WNBA took some time to progress. It took some time for athletes to develop, and the game has never been better. I enjoy basketball.
PBB TV says, I do that for movies. So, and that's good. And that's good. Good. I'm glad that you do that. I would just suggest to you, just to be nice, truly, to just
be open-minded.
Yeah, that's it. But do you, but also, like,
dude, there's some incredible players in the WNBA.
I mean, if you're not watching, and that's fine, then you're just not a hooper. You don't enjoy all basketball. Like, do you? Cool. But then, like, I don't know, be like smarter.
It's so weird when these guys, no, the NBA is losing money. It's like, no, like you don't understand how the business dynamics work. You don't understand. You haven't watched it. You haven't tried to watch a WNBA game. And it's clear. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to. No one's telling you that you have to like it.
You're just not a sports junkie.
You're also missing the point of what I was just saying. All I was just saying is we pile on NBA players for when they moved to different teams, yet WNBA players are being celebrated today. And I think NBA fans and media should do a better job of celebrating when they talk about the game. So
no, I think we should bash everybody.
Bash everyone.
Good point. I mean, yeah, if we're going to bash anyone today, like, let it be Tom Brady, you know?
No.
I'm kidding, you
Are
guys.
we guys surprised? So Keegan Murray makes the Rising Stars game.
Yeah.
Were you surprised Davion wasn't on it?
I was.
Okay.
You know what? But a little piece of me was like, well, he's not getting those minutes. He's not getting that time to be like, I am this rising star in this sophomore game. But at the same time, I felt like he's being efficient for the most part in his minutes, but maybe it just hasn't been enough to people.
Yeah. I mean,
is that fair?
I look at the sophomores. You can only have so many, and the ones that are listed, it's hard to put him over anyone, and so much about that game is more about like, oh, who's like getting big time minutes and putting up numbers. Like he's not putting up numbers that jump out to you, even though his defense has just been outstanding.
I mean, on a whole different level of elite, outstanding, is very valuable at that position.
Yeah.
1-on-1 D.
It's just like, I don't know who you would take off to put him on. That's that. Whenever we do this stuff, I'm like, yeah, who do you Alvarado's on there. Scotty Barnes, Josh Giddey's been awesome. Jalen Green gets numbers. Quentin Grimes. You saw that pass Quentin Grimes had to Hartenstein last night?
Oh, come on. That was, I had that as like my pass of the day nominee.
That was late in the game.
But then Chris Watkins was dropping this other pass from Plumlee on the ground, being like, nice. I threw it from the ground. I'm like,
so Bones Highland's on it. Evan Mobley, Trey Murphy, Şengün, and Franz Wagner. And you can't really dispute that. Stand by. Chris update coming up.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. This morning, Tom Brady announced on social media that he is retiring after 23 seasons in the NFL. Brady finished with 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 with the Patriots and 1 with the Buccaneers. He also retires with several NFL records, including most quarterback wins, most career passing touchdowns, and most career passing yards. Brady will now most likely transfer to the booth after he signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox. Tonight's Pistons-Wizards game has been postponed, with the Pistons stuck in Dallas following an ice storm. The NBA is also working with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are scheduled to play the Dallas Mavericks on Thursday. Kings road trip continues, and they are back in action tonight when they take on the San Antonio Spurs. You can listen to the game starting with game night at 3:30 and tip-off scheduled for 5 right here on Sactown Sports. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo on your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
Really excited to see what Keegan Murray can do tonight against San Antonio. Maybe another opportunity for him to continue it. Were you looking at his numbers in the last 7 games, Morgan?
No.
Do you want his numbers in the last 7 games?
I want his numbers in the last 7 games, please.
I know it's super specific. In the month of January, though, he did average 6 rebounds a game, but I was looking at his last 7 and was really impressed with what I saw from a rebounding perspective. From the shooting perspective, we're like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, he's been knocking down his shot at a super effective rate. His last 7 games, he's averaging 15.6 points, 8 rebounds on 56% shooting, 24 for 47 from 3. That is 51%.
Oh my God.
But how about the 8 rebounds for a guy that literally got called out by Brown after the Lakers game for not getting 1 rebound?
Dude, the response is real. And that's what you love to see, a coachable guy, right? Someone that's going to take that to heart and be like, I don't want to be called out for this again. How can it make me better? I got to talk to him a little bit after a game about, hey, has Mike Brown and some of the challenges he throws at you, helped you develop? And he talked about how it makes him better each and every day.
Were you name dropping there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking to Keegan Murray.
So I've got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
When Keegan Murray wins Rookie of the Year, are they going to light the beam?
One, I think if he did win Rookie of the Year, they would. I do think they would.
Can I be honest?
Okay. You
Wait, can you lie about 25%?
Yeah. We just take a drink every time we say, can we be honest? That at the first week and a half of this show, we would be blacked out.
Well,
100%.
we are on 11-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone wants the beam lit whenever something good happens in Sacramento. And I'm like,
you want it to happen when something bad happens?
No, I only want it to happen with Kings wins. I think that's what makes it special.
Right. I agree. I think there is a danger territory that I think we might be going toward at some point.
So
where something in, for example, the Empire State Building.
Oh.
What are they doing?
What are you doing?
The Eagles win the NFC Championship game in New York. They light up the Empire State Building.
Who is in charge?
And I know they've done this stuff over the years. They do it for sports. It's different. Could you imagine if, like, hey, the Warriors won it all again. We're going to light the beam for them for California. It's going to actually be like a blue beam, but we're going to light it. Like, we're going to make it a thing. When something good happens, we're going to light the beam. No, you're right. Beam is only for Kings wins. Not for like, hey,
Monty McNair signed his contract and people were like, let's light the beam. And I was like, no, no.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Because then you start lighting it for things that are okay. Oh, great, the beam's lit because some sponsor signed a new deal. We're not going there. We are making
got a point.
There's if it becomes for other things, it's not special.
Yes.
Game 82.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Kings play the day before. It's not going to happen. But let's just say, they're tied for number 1 spot in the West.
No.
In the West.
Okay.
The Nuggets lose, making the Kings a number 1 seed.
Like they clinch it?
They clinch
it. Yeah. Yes. If for clinching, no, because that's a win. Like
you didn't win a game for that. You just
but
another
you clinched. You did win games to do that.
No, but another team won the game, and then you're lighting the.
Now you're getting ridiculous.
This is why you just take it for the Kings wins.
Oh, really? So Morgan, again, hear what he said before you jump on it. I'm so focused on wins. The Kings are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference.
Correct.
So when they if they clinch a playoff spot,
if
they clinch a playoff spot and they don't win a game to do so, if someone else loses, you don't light the beam for that.
Again, we're getting into that same territory.
No, it's not. It's about the Kings. The whole point is it's about Kings only. Kings wins. If they make the playoffs, you light the beam. That's you clinch it. You clinch number 1. You light the beam. It's Kings related. I'm not saying for random things. Chat, help me out here, please.
Please. Let's just light the beam for every little success.
That's ridiculous.
I think what we've established, we need to get together with the beam table
lighter?
to make a beam round table of sorts to write everything down.
This is true.
In this situation, this is what happened.
Yeah.
In this situation, this is what happens.
It's very much like a very important button in this world where it's like you got to pick and choose when it can actually be pushed. So those times are not the times, in my opinion. After a win, that's what it's for.
Clinching a playoff spot.
You know that's where it starts.
No,
and then
it doesn't. That's about
Mm.
winning, though. That's all it's about. That's my whole point. It's about winning. We're not talking about doing it for random things that happen. Pike's Place is it. Only wins. Someone says light the beam after every basket.
Bing, bing,
It's
bing.
just on and off.
That would be great. Someone like watching. Okay, is it 2 or 3?
It's been lit 75 times here in the first half. We're good. Oh man. Fast Break Podcast says, I don't think the Kings should light the beam for going to the playoffs, but they definitely need a parade.
I like
All right,
it.
let's check in with Chase. What's up, Chase?
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. I mean, obviously it's getting hot in here. We're going at it. In fact, someone in the chat was saying bad acting, as if me and Morgan were acting in that situation. Like we planned it. It's this show scripted, apparently.
Yes.
We're good, man. What's going on?
I'd just like to say, man, if we lose tonight to the Spurs, I'm blaming Deuce Mason because you said that the Kings would win because the Spurs are so terrible. And the one thing I've learned after being a fan for the last decade, never assume the Kings are going to beat bad teams because they always let you down for it.
Great perspective. A little negative, but I like it.
So
what?
We've all, some people haven't who listen to us. Most people have seen Men in Black, right?
Yeah.
You know the whole like memory thing.
We all
you
know
flash
it.
in front of
Well,
your
you should know
face
it.
and
Yeah.
you lose what happened
Yeah.
before. That's what you guys need to do about previous Kings years, because previous years have nothing to do with this team. This team is not the same team. There's different players. There's an entirely new coaching staff. They have a sample size of 49 games where they're really good. It's okay now, guys, to say that they should win a game tonight. It's okay to say that.
Wait, who's our caller? What's his name?
Chase.
Chase. No, and here's the thing though, where I go with Chase, because I'm not even going with like other regimes and other teams and why. That's why my mindset is this way. It mostly is this way because we haven't seen it for an entire season, an entire consistent season. So once we see it for an entire consistent season, we can give that team that identity, move forward with everything and be like, oh yeah, this team last year beat all of the teams that they were supposed to beat, or most of the teams they were supposed to beat. So now we know what they're capable of. Right now, we still don't know exactly what this team is capable of. What we saw on Saturday against the Minnesota Timberwolves in that loss compared to their win against the T-Wolves, we saw some great response, but we also don't know what they can do sometimes against a team in a first game when they just come in not ready.
So I hear that, and most of their disappointing losses have been at home. Their record against teams under 500 is outstanding.
Great. Yes, absolutely. And that's a great stat to have.
My point is, like, I'm not saying you walking, oh, for sure you'll win a game, but there are games now because of how this team has put things together where you could say, yeah, they should win that game. Like they should win tonight, right? Like they should beat the Pacers. They should beat a struggling They honestly, they should win the rest of the games on this road trip. They should.
And one more thing though, because to your stat about the teams under 500 and them beating teams under 500, you look at games like against the Sixers when they're not a team under 500, but they're a team that were missing two of their main guys and the Kings still lost. And they're still a good team, sure. But then you see a team like the Memphis Grizzlies as well, still a good team, but missing two of their main guys that make them a good team, and they lost that game. So that's where that stat obviously is a little gray.
I disagree with that.
Okay. Well, thanks, Chase.
Chase, appreciate you, man.
You guys are the best. And I would also like to say, if that were the case, then they wouldn't have lost teams like Charlotte, Atlanta, and Washington at home with losing records.
No, you're not going to do it because I already referenced those games, Chase, as you try to throw this one in at me. Yeah,
hey, I'm hoping for a win tonight.
Chase,
but if they don't win,
hear me
then
out.
It's your fault.
Hear me out. Hear me out. A couple of things.
Yeah.
I didn't say they were undefeated against teams under 500. They've had disappointing losses. They're going to because they're not a perfect team. But they have, for the most part this year, taken care of business against teams that are under 500. And they should tonight. And if you want to blame me tomorrow, blame me. But guess what? I am not the players out there playing the game. If you believe in sports jinxes, I can't help you. Then you're just a little kid believing in little jinxes. Little jinxes.
Don't listen to him, Chase.
I still love you, Chase.
It's not that. It's not bad. It's just, pessimism over years. But I totally get it. And I hope they win tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Chase. We all do. I appreciate you checking in. All right, we'll talk more of you guys coming up. Anthony Slater joins us in about 20 minutes. It's Deuce. It's Mo. It's on Sactown Sports. Some of you Kings fans are so broken.
I mean, can you blame them?
I mean, no, I can't, but it's when are they ever going to believe?
They will. Why not get like one full season of good basketball, to make someone believe?
Brooks says even athletes believe in jinxes. I feel like it's more of a baseball thing.
I mean, it's definitely at a professional level.
This one. Morgan Reagan.
Yes.
When she played basketball, I think in high school, even in college or high school only?
I had some jinx stuff in college, but it was different.
She had a lucky penny.
Correct.
She determined this penny was lucky for some bizarre reason.
Picked it up, heads up.
So, what are the odds you see a penny with heads up? That never
Not
happens.
anymore. There's no more change
You're right,
out there.
You're right. It'd be like something like, I got a Venmo and my lucky Venmo. She put that lucky penny in her shoe while she played game. I don't know how you would even do that because for me, is there any more weird feeling when you're walking around and I got something in my shoe?
So
like a rock or something. A penny, you would feel that.
I would wear thick Nike Elite socks and have ankle tapes or ankle
cankle tape, yeah.
Cankle wraps, whatever I needed, right? So like you wouldn't feel the penny. There'd be enough padding, but yeah, I was very superstitious. Like I was the type on game days that had to straighten my hair a certain way for the ponytail. If my braid was weird, I would be like, no, I have to look good to play good. Like it was all about that
it's
life.
Very weird.
And it is.
The whole power of a jinx thing is super strange. Also, I do want to mention this as we approach our final hour. We still got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
We're at 240 thumbs up.
Ooh.
I don't think we're getting the 300 today, and it's a little disappointing.
Oh,
I'm feeling it a little bit.
You guys, get it to 300.
Let's see if we can get to 300. All it does is help the channel grow. It just helps more people see our show, that we're doing a daily show each and every day. So do that if you can.
I like this perspective.
Yeah.
It's only crazy if it doesn't work.
Brooke also mentions talking about perfect games, like when the MLB app puts out an alert notification about a perfect game going on, it pretty much ends it. You know what ends it? It's just hard to throw a perfect game, so like you give up a hit or a walk. Like,
the
that's
app
what
ends it.
There's not. It is the app didn't do anything. My pet peeve is when baseball announcers are like, not referencing that there's a perfect game. No, your job is to tell me what's happening right now. If
Well-
someone's got it's the seventh inning, there's a perfect. I want to know.
When Deuce and I are calling a G League game
Oh.
and there's some like he'll be like, so and so is perfect at the free throw line tonight. And I just am like,
I don't care.
You gotta say it when they're shooting. Why don't you say it after the free throw is made? You know, like, and he says it while they're going to the
I
free
make it
throw.
a point. I'll
he
be like,
makes it a point.
big free throw here for Stockton. So and so is shooting 87% from the
It's
line.
not-
A great free throw shoot. I really emphasize it too.
It's not.
Great.
It's not fair. It's not fair for anyone.
The announcer jinx is real. It does. You know what? The only time you notice it is when it goes against you. When the announcer goes, yeah, this guy shoots 92% from the line and he makes a free throw. You're like, yeah, you don't say anything. It's only when he misses and you think it's a jinx. No, you don't keep track of all the other times when an announcer brings it up.
I know deep down you sort of believe
I
in
don't.
jinxes.
I don't.
You sort of do.
No, I don't.
Hmm.
It's a weird thing that like people have as if your belief in something. I don't know.
I know what it is too. People sometimes it's just like we do in society. We want to put the blame on something, and sometimes it's easiest to put it on the person that quite possibly jinxed it,
But
right?
I do believe if you get enough people putting a type of energy out,
I agree.
that
Yeah,
can
like a
change
positive energy. Like my team's gonna beat the Spurs tonight. Morgan, well, don't say that. People calling in, Chase. I'm gonna blame you, Deuce. We're coming back.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, we are live. Morgan Reagan, do we have an update on our poll question from earlier today about if people actually care about this Tom Brady retirement announcement? Where are we at with the poll?
So, do you care about Brady's retirement? We got yes, he's the GOAT at 37%, and no, I'm over it at 63%.
He's a Northern California guy.
We're over it.
You guys don't care?
Team Giselle, baby.
The best part about him retiring
Yeah, the best. But
is that we can stop the like Brady Niner stuff.
Agreed.
Because it was gonna linger.
Can
like
we?
yeah.
you think
Ooh.
could you imagine? It's like Shanahan saw the video today. He's like, whoa, Tommy, wait. You didn't see it? Hey,
Is that him FaceTiming?
yeah, he's not answering. We have to talk to him. Purdy's got the UCL. Trey Lance is coming back from a second surgery. We may need him. I do think it's just good that is over. Now, the 49ers are still going to have a quarterback thing going into the season because of Purdy's injury, and Trey Lance is still there. Both those guys talked yesterday, and they were both super supportive of each other, even though that's got to be awkward. Like, if you're Trey Lance, they gave up everything to get me. You're in your eyes, you're like, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
This is going to be my team now. Like, I've got weapons around me. I've got a legit defense. I'm a young quarterback with this offensive genius with Shanahan. And now it's like in serious doubt because of Brock Purdy.
And that's what's bizarre. You know, it's when you look at sports and you look at football compared to a game like basketball, right? Like guys are still somewhat going to get their opportunity. You got to go to your bench. You're going to get a few minutes here and there, whatever. In football, you don't get that opportunity at quarterback unless the next guy truly is down, something is wrong, whatever. So it is very unique that this is happening again in San Francisco. But at the same time, I think every time as sports fans and as people that consume NFL, it's it happens everywhere, it seems like, right? It just seems a little bit more dramatic in Niners land because it feels very consistent.
Like
over
every
the
year.
years.
Every year it happens. Yes.
And now this is even a more unique situation with these two young quarterbacks and what the hell's happening with Jimmy Garoppolo now. It's weird, but I'm happy that these two can empower one another and still, be supportive.
I have a major problem with this poll.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
I'm pretty upset with the YouTube
Why?
right now. We've had 326 votes on this poll question.
Yeah.
Only 254 likes.
Great point.
Oh my God.
Great
So you're voting,
Yeah.
but you're not hitting the thumbs up?
It just helps us grow.
Hit
Just
the thumbs up if you hate Tom Brady too.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody.
Like,
And if you
let's
like him,
go.
you can too. But
Yeah, or Team Giselle.
Hey, we have the NBA trade deadline's coming soon, February 9th. We're 8 days away from the NBA's trade
Hello.
deadline. You want some new rumors today?
Yes.
I give you a little DMZ action today.
Can you?
Oh, yeah. We got some new, fresh NBA rumors. It's time for DMZ. Keith Pompey, who covers the Sixers, has this. Thibault no longer untouchable. We knew the Kings were interested, but a new team in the mix interested in Matisse Thibault. The Golden State Warriors. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So a team that's trying to work on playoff positioning, trying to get some veteran help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and for them, what's so interesting is that
Or they can't play him and Draymond together on the floor. Can you imagine the spacing with those two guys?
well, you know how we keep on talking about a backup big for the Sixers, and we're like, oh yeah, you got Rashawn Holmes.
Wiseman's going to be that for the Sixers?
Now, what I'm saying about Wiseman, because when I listen to other like Warriors podcasts and everything, and they do talk about in trades, it always sounds like obviously they want to find a way to put Wiseman somewhere else, right? Like find a trade for him. At the same time, you don't know what he can accomplish, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen here. I think for another team, maybe you feel like you can get that out of him. We called games with him in the G League. We know, you can see why he's a unique big, but there's so much that he's lacking at the NBA level when it comes to defending the pick and roll, when it comes to just really having a feel for the game and confidence.
The Warriors are in a situation where they want to win now, and they haven't found the line of, we got to develop young guys while at the same time try to win. They can't deal with the mistakes, right? They could deal with a rookie like Keegan Murray come in and just fit perfectly in and just not try to do too much. With Wiseman, you just talk about in the pick and roll, getting exposed and not being focused defensive. Like, they don't have the time to wait. Imagine if they would have drafted Halliburton or LaMelo.
Oh, they
had the number 2 pick.
Dude. They messed it. They messed with it, but at the same time, they just thought they were going for a unique big.
Next up on DMZ, Colin staying put in Atlanta.
Ooh.
I don't buy this story.
Okay, you think this is
Listen to the spin on this.
Okay.
The new front office has sought to send the message that it has a different view of John Collins than its predecessors, and to be honest, they're comfortable going forward with him as a Hawk beyond the trade deadline. Yeah, one league source stressed to me that trade scenarios will continue to be explored until the deadline. Indiana, New Orleans, and Utah are among the teams that have expressed interest in the Hawks' big man, John Collins. So it feels like the Hawks been trying to trade John Collins the second they got him there. Okay, let's trade this guy. They gave him a new deal. They have a new front office now, right? Landry Fields is running the front office, very inexperienced. They bring in Kyle Korver. It's a new group. They got the owner's son involved. Like, it's weird dynamics, and they're trying to spin that. I actually want to keep John Collins now. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a spin job to convince teams like you gotta pay up if you want John Collins, which feels like it's been the narrative over the years. But you look at that, I think it was the 2020 season when he had his best season of his career, and then you just seen the way that that's dropped, and not only because of him, his injuries. We looked at that photo of his finger and where his finger is at.
Do me a favor if you're at your desk right now, you're on your phone.
Hopefully not after you've eaten.
Yeah. Search John Collins' finger. And you're going to be like, why is he only shooting 26% from 3 when he's been a good 3-point shooter? Look at his finger and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I get it. Like, he needs maybe to get that finger operated. I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
And he's still like a guy that's averaging a little under 14 points a game, a little under 8 rebounds a game. It's just not the numbers that he was putting up in that 2020 season. So you've seen all these little things from health to not being able to find his rhythm with Trae Young, who's very ball dominant out there on the floor. And then you go to the coaching staff, and that also seems like it's been something that we've heard about in the locker room hasn't been the best for these players. So I do believe that his price should be high, but I also believe that the Hawks are still willing to make a move if they can get the right pieces back.
All right, we'll have more DMZ coming up in a bit. Let's check in with Roman. What's up, Roman?
Hey, Deuce and Mo. What's going on, guys?
What up, Roman? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. So we're talking trades, Thibault, Collins, Vanderbilt, whoever. I was wondering, you guys are the Stockton Kings experts. How much you think we can get from like internal development? You know, what are we looking for from Deontay Burton on this 10-day? And how do we get Keon Ellis minutes? I want to see some Keon Ellis minutes.
Yeah, I'm curious about the Keon Ellis dynamic because he's been really productive in the G League, Morgan. Like, not only with his defense, which we knew he could do, but the 3-point numbers have been really, really strong for him. I'm pulling him up right now because last time I checked, I think it was like 42. Let's see. No, he in 13 regular season games during the regular season portion, they had the Showcase Cup portion first. Showcase Cup play in 12 games, he shot 35%. But over this stretch of the regular season, he is shooting 44% from three on 4.5 attempts a game. So yeah, I don't know if they're just kind of viewing him as a long-term guy, maybe someone they focus in next year with the squad. But I think I've seen enough that I go, there's something there. The biggest thing maybe is, can he handle the physicality at the next level, Morgan?
Yeah, maybe it's the size, but either way, I think he has a good feel for the game. I think when you look at the way that his shot is developing, like there's potential there, and we want to keep seeing internal development. So I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I also see when we see Mimi Keita and Keon Ellis play in the G League, we just want to see even more dominance from them. Because when you're seeing that at the G League level, then you know that they can bring it at the NBA level.
But Keon's shooting has been really strong. I think his defense has been too. So I think he could definitely be a guy that can help. As far as Deontay Burton, I don't know. Like I think he started the season hurt for Stockton. He's played in the league. I think they're trying to reward a guy who has been just such a good positive guy in Stockton. He's 6'4", but he's got a 7-foot wingspan, or close to a I think it's 6'11", 7-foot wingspan, long, super athletic. It's like, why not take a look at the guy? You have an open roster spot. It expires right before the deadline. They'll have another open roster spot after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm hoping we get some defense because, man, it's getting old watching the.
What about
defense in time?
What about Minnesota? That game against Minnesota last game.
Come on now.
I was still. I threw my remote a couple times on those Chimezi Metu closeouts.
Right. I appreciate you checking in, man. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect. It's not. Coming up next, do not go anywhere. One of the best NBA guys in the planet joins us. Anthony Slater from The Athletic will join us. We'll talk about the NBA trade deadline just 8 days away. Could the Kings do it? Let's see what they do. We'll talk to Anthony straight ahead on Sactown Sports.
I'm just going to tweet it out.
All right. I did send him the video link, so he should be joining us on video. Oh, let's get the thumbs up. We're closing in on 300. It's going to be a tight one. Will we get there?
No.
We're at 262 right now. And we're entering the final hour.
Okay.
38 thumbs up. Is it doable?
Call your mom, call your dad. Get them to get that thumbs up.
And they should just be listening too.
Yeah.
I can't call my mom right now.
You really gonna? This is sad.
She's in the hospital.
Deuce, that is so sad. And why are you?
Why are you and Chris smirking about that?
Because
you're joking about it.
No, I'm not.
She is.
I know, but I'm not saying that you're
funny
making it up.
My mom is in the hospital.
Yeah, no, and
the way that you're saying.
Thank you. You're saying it. You want us to giggle because you want to throw it back
She's
on
gonna
us.
be all right. I hope.
Oh my God.
Let me process it the way I want to process it.
Yes, and through humor and comedy and darkness, you do that.
Hey, thanks for the love, Mike. Appreciate you. He says, you guys
rock. Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Dean says Thibault is a better KZ Okpala. That's about it. I mean, yeah, I would say he's probably a better. I mean, you could say what you want about Thibault offensively. He's not a great offensive player. I don't really need him to do that. I think he's even better in that regard than KZ. He's made the all-defensive team the last 2 years. So all these people that pile on the last couple of years, I'm like, he still made the all-defensive team. So have you guys talked about Gary Trent rumors? What do we have a new Gary Trent rumor? We can definitely ask Slater about Toronto too. Does he think Toronto does anything?
What about OKC?
OKC did what? A trade?
Yeah. I thought there was information.
Oh, about Darius Baisley. That's
Yeah.
right. Sorry. I saw some tweet. I just haven't found it. James Ham.
Yeah.
Mentioning Darius Baisley potentially for the Kings. That's kind of looking for someone that's a long, athletic guy.
We just
for
haven't
a cheaper
seen
deal.
anything else.
But yeah, James Ham with his fedora.
Fedora Ham. Dude, I'm excited to talk to Slater.
Man, I got crushed on Twitter by a guy. That's interesting.
Ooh, really?
Cruising the Sac area, where I unfortunately stumbled on a clown show Deuce Mason, full of sucking up to the woke Sac Kings, defending little Matt Barnes for spitting on dude.
Oh.
Here he's a huge Mark Jones fan too.
Oh.
Can you put those rumors to rest, Deuce?
God, some people are just so weird.
Imagine saying, "Oh, I bet he's a Mark Jones fan."
Yeah,
I bet he thinks Mark Jones does a good job.
So ridiculous. People are so funny.
I know. You know what I've been doing, which I didn't do 7 years ago.
What?
A radio show?
It's 7 years ago when I was doing a radio show. A lot of people were just so disgusted with women speaking.
Oh, yeah.
Some still are. And I would like talk back because it would be funny because people would get like,
oh,
so whatever.
Nowadays,
now I just mute. I just don't even
mute.
Yep. I don't even respond. I just go, oh, I'll just mute.
Instant mute. It's like you don't want to have a conversation with me.
Nope.
You're just gonna go up and instant mute.
It's just like so toxic. And I'm like, no, I don't need that in my life.
Won't even get a block from me.
No,
You and I get a
no.
block. So
No, you will never get a block from me.
Yeah. We're gonna be back in a few minutes. Anthony's gonna join us, Anthony Slater.
Hell yeah.
Are you excited for the trade deadline?
Are you asking me? Yeah.
Even if it's not big for the King, I'm such an NBA dweeb that I love the NBA trade deadline.
If only you guys are into soccer, because they don't have one trade deadline; they have two.
Two trade deadlines
Yeah.
In
but then
soccer?
it's less exciting, right?
No, it's like think about the deadline, but there's two of them.
Could one player get traded twice in one season?
No.
Yeah, see that, and then also like, there's two WrestleManias.
There is two WrestleManias.
No, there's
We're just
one.
Day
diluting.
one and there's day two.
It's part of one event.
We're diluting the product.
Yeah, one deadline's enough. Then we have free agency as the other big thing.
No, because you can't like trade during the season. There's only like 1 month. It's like, okay.
Oh, you can
make
only 1 month?
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's two of
actually,
them.
I do like that. Imagine that as like, hey, NBA trade month, February only. There's no like, oh, you can make trades from the start of the offseason until February 9th. It's like,
Trade
no,
month.
it's trade month. February is trade month.
Yeah.
Whoa. You could light the beam for that entire month then, huh?
Yeah. What about trade day? It's like, no, what's
Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports Headlines. This morning, Tom Brady announced on social media that he is retiring after 23 seasons in the NFL. Brady finished with 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 with the Patriots and 1 with the Buccaneers. He also retires with several NFL records, including most quarterback wins, most career passing touchdowns, and most career passing yards. Brady will now most likely transfer to the booth after he signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox. Tonight's Pistons-Wizards game has been postponed with the Pistons stuck in Dallas following an ice storm. The NBA is also working with New Orleans Pelicans, who are scheduled to play in Dallas on Thursday. Kings road trip continues tonight. They are back in action against the San Antonio Spurs. You can listen to the game starting with game night at 3:30 and tip-off scheduled for 5 right here on Sactown Sports. It is 1 o'clock. This time check is brought to you by West Coast Men's Health Acoustic Wave Therapy. And now Deuce and Mo with our guest, Andy Slater.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Oh, yes, we are live. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan. Second week of the new show, the new daily show.
We did it.
Oh, but it's not all the way down to the second week.
Well, we're almost there.
Times last week, we were like, are we going to make it through this? This is a lot. But we're here for now. I'm just kidding. We're not going.
No, I just need to learn how to get a shower in there, you know?
Yeah, no, that's crucial.
Woo!
All right, stop wasting time. Let's
Okay.
go to someone we love. He's one of the premier NBA voices and NBA journalists on the planet. You read his work in The Athletic. He's the one. He's the only Anthony Slater. What's up, Anthony?
What's up? How are you guys enjoying the afternoon life?
Hey, the time slot, great.
Great question.
The balancing 800 other things, it's been kind of a challenge, but it's like also we're here having fun talking.
Yeah.
So You can't complain too
no,
much, right?
no, it's fun. It's just, when you just try and figure out some other things, it's like, whoa, this
Yeah.
was a lot more than I thought. But at the same time, we're talking sports and we have great people like you joining us. So thanks.
And like you do a lot of things. I could not believe like last week, it was like a week and a half ago. I was talking to you before a game. You're mentioning you're doing a piece on Harrison Barnes. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll look forward to reading that in a few weeks. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed at 1:00 in the morning. The piece is out. I'm like, this guy's insane. He's doing podcasting, doing breakdowns on The Athletic. I'm like, how do you do it?
I sleep in the afternoons, basically, right?
What?
I mean, that's the NBA lifestyle. But no, I mean, I like to, if I get something fresh, I like to get it out fresh because sometimes I feel like conversations or reporting. I mean, you guys know how quick the league can move. What is the NBA going to look like 2 weeks from now compared to today? Especially these 2 weeks, right?
Dude, I don't know. We talked to Sam Amick last week, and he goes, I expect some fireworks the week of the trade deadline. As we inch closer and closer, do you anticipate that it's going to be maybe bigger than we think? Is this the calm before the storm?
I mean, it depends on like what you describe as fireworks, like NBA junkies view like the Rui Hachimura trade, like, whoa, what a blockbuster. And then, you maybe like take a longer approach of view to it. And you're like, I mean, that's like the Lakers 7th or 8th man for some second round picks. There'll be trades. Like I bet there's double digit trades on the day.
I'll take it.
But again, I covered the Warriors a couple of years ago, and it was like they traded Marquise Chris to San Antonio into cap space and Brad Wanamaker into cap space just to clear roster spots. And it was like, wow, 2 Warriors trades at the deadline. But it was like, basically just wave their 14th and 15th man.
And speaking of possible Warriors trades, we're seeing some rumblings out there now with Matisse Thybulle. I feel like his name's being thrown out with a lot of teams right now, but
the Kings,
with the Kings too. So now we were just discussing, okay, with the rumbling of the Warriors, what would they need to do for it? And then with the Kings, what would they need to do for Matisse Thybulle? And are any of these rumors actually valid?
Yeah, I think particularly with the Kings, I mean, it's pretty obvious what they need, right? Just like some defensive backbone. I would lean more like rim protector, like Nerlens Noel type that they could use more just for more optionality. Throw a guy out there that can block a shot at the rim. But yeah, wing defense to me, you could argue KZ Okpala is already Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle is a little more of an
fired by Anthony.
Wait, I'm actually shocked that you're saying that.
He's mid on the all defensive team twice.
Put some respect on that resume,
some people would say that's overvalued. He's having trouble cracking Doc Rivers' rotation.
Yeah. That is the biggest point you can make is like this guy was playing 25 minutes a night and he's been on the all defensive team, yet a Sixers team who's trying to win a championship is playing him 12 minutes a night.
Yeah, you're not trying to like grab Alex Caruso from a Bulls team right now that's like, crumbling. You're trying to grab, like they want maybe they're thinking, Terrence Davis would be more of a help to a rotation right now. Get out there, shoot it a little bit, have some nights. It's the one thing is like maybe in a certain playoff series in a certain matchup. Let's say you get Memphis in round 1, like you throw Thybulle on Ja Morant for stretches, and that helps. It just gives you an extra Ja Morant defender. But at the same time, what also happens in the playoffs is guys who cannot shoot and cannot score and cannot put the ball on the floor get played off the floor. So it's kind of a little bit of a catch-22. I mean, it's the story of Matisse Thybulle's career to this point. It's why he has not caught on in Philly.
Yeah, no, it's all fair, and I could see why there'd be interest there. They're clearly searching for something at that for perimeter defense, maybe a rim protector. You keep hearing Plumlee's name brought up too. I don't know, man. It feels like a weird trade deadline from the standpoint that you have so many teams that are kind of in the thick of things, especially in the Western Conference, that you have so many buyers. Some of these teams are going, oh, you want Plumlee? You better give up multiple picks. And I don't know that teams want to do that, give up so much to acquire a talent like him.
That's why trades don't happen like the week before, right? Because that is the asking price a week out. You're seeing all these reports like they'd be willing to part with their 9th man for a first-round pick and a good young player or something like that. By the deadline, it is, the Wizards struck early, I think, because they were realistic about Rui Hachimura's actual value. And we're like, look, at the end of the day, if we're going to get something done, it is going to be for a few second-round picks. So that, I could imagine Plumlee should be cheap. considering where Charlotte is and just, I mean, who he is. I mean, he's a backup center. The Kings have plenty of backup centers. He would be the best defender among them. You know, if he's coming in and he's taking Rashawn Holmes minutes, I mean, I don't know. What would y'all think about that?
I think it makes some sense because they have not found anything at that spot. Although I got to be honest, I know it maybe doesn't work all the time, but I liked what I saw from Trey Lyles at the go small ball 5 when you have to. And it gives you a different look. He could shoot it. He could put it on the floor a little bit.
And you say take away from Rashawn Holmes minutes. There's not, you know, there's just not enough being played by him anyway. Like, it's like Coach Mike Brown is, you know, now he was going for Chimezie Metu first, and now he's relying a little bit more on Trey Lyles last game, showing that trust. And now I'm hoping after showing some of that trust toward Trey Lyles, like that's the direction he goes in. But at the same time, he was talking about it post game, and he was still talking about Chimezie Metu really being there before Trey Lyles. So I'm not sure what direction they really want to go in. And we know that's one of the positions that they need to fix. But what about also John Collins? That's a name that we keep hearing. We've heard connected with the Kings over the years, but we've heard his name connected with almost every single team in the NBA, right? And you now look at today, the Hawks are saying, oh no, we want to see if we got a future with him. We're good. We're not good. Is that just their way of trying to manipulate the situation?
The one thing about the Hawks is, you know, they've threatened in the past, hey, we'll keep him, and they always do keep him. So they might just keep him. He might just play out his entire contract on the trade block. As far as a fit in Sacramento, the Kings looked into it in the offseason, and I just think his fit with Sabonis just isn't there, right? Especially for the price tag. We're talking about, you know, that's a hefty chunk of your salary cap. That to me, he profiles more as like, you know, maybe like a Utah or like a team that is rearranging the bigger deck chairs right now. The Kings are more fringe, you know, some of the fringe rotation pieces. I think the Kings made a really smart move in the offseason saying, you know, I don't know about John Collins. How about Kevin Huerter? I mean, that was the guy that fit what they wanted to do. So
I'm curious to get your perspective on Keegan Murray's development. You know, I was just looking at his month of January. The shooting has been really strong, but I think the Kings have to be excited that he's kind of taken on that challenge of improving the rebounding in his last 7 games. He's averaging over 8 rebounds a game. When you've had a chance to see Keegan Murray, what's jumped out to you maybe about his development this season?
Well, it's just like an elite shooter. And like anytime he's lining up an open or even semi-open 3, you're like, oh, that's good offense must have produced that, because that's a high quality, high efficient shot, even if he's missing. What did he just shoot? 49% from 3 in January?
Yeah, it was outrageous.
So, that is maybe the most important skill in the modern NBA. And like, you can already check that box, halfway through his rookie year. And when you talk to people around the league who see him for the first time, the second time, they're all impressed with how big he is, like just tall, lanky as a rookie. Like, man, this guy's already like a legit, size of a modern power forward. And I like the way he's fit with Harrison Barnes. That was a question I kind of had coming into the season, was like, can they make sense in lineups together? Well, they're starting together in the Kings' best lineup. I have been following like Mike Brown challenging him a little bit. I think, what was that, like early January?
Yeah.
So he's playing a little bit more rugged. The marathon of an NBA season can catch up to rookies, and the dog days hit, and suddenly they're just floating out there. And so I'm not saying he's past that. You might see another couple weeks where the energy level's not there. And I think he a little bit reminds me of like, I cover Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins sometimes has weeks at a time where it's just like he can be kind of floating. Like, sure, he gets an open 3, he might hit it, but there are 5 trips up and down the court where you're like, he's kind of just doing cardio right now. So there's a little bit of that with Keegan, but overall, you got to be really encouraged by his season.
Yeah, I know Kings fans are really encouraged. I know we are as well. Just like you watch his game and his ability to play at this level his rookie year, and I look at the impact he's making as a rookie, and I think right now you look at the national narrative around possible rookies of the year, and it's going straight to Paolo Banchero. Do you think, if Keegan was to keep this up, his name's got to be right there, right?
It'll be in it, with Paulo. I actually thought Benedict Mathurin was like the dark horse early in the season. Oof. He's cooled some. The Pacers, what are they? 1-10. Kings are about to see them. I like the rest of this Kings road trip for them too. By the way, they need to pile up some wins.
That's what I said too, Anthony. Honestly, like it sounds like Halliburton might come back tonight against the Lakers. So I don't know if he's going to play on the second night of a back-to-back against the Kings, but
I think he's going to want to. I'll say that.
Yes.
Yeah, you would think he would want to, and yeah, it's Sabonis' first game playing against the Pacers in Indiana, so there's going to be a lot of emotions there. But yeah, this road trip, I'm looking at it going, they should win tonight. And I'm not saying they're going to, but you look at how this road trip sets up. You could make the case that they should win the rest of these games. The Pacers team, even with Halliburton, is not a great team. The Pelicans are beyond banged up right now, and then you get Houston twice.
I'd say 3-2 is like the floor of what you should expect. Like 3-2 would be like, all right, 4-1, I would say should at least be the goal. And then obviously, like it's sitting out there for 5-0, but that's just like very difficult.
Very difficult. Did you not hear our guy Anthony Slater say very difficult? Like Deuce is over here. I think it's hilarious. Tell me if you kind of feel this too from Kings fans. Slater, you're around now so much more, and you get the vibe that the expectations are obviously higher with the Kings, but this road trip, they left, and everyone's like, they got to come home 5-2, or it's a bust, or it's a bad road trip. And I'm talking over here like 4-3. I'm happy with 4-3. Like it's the NBA. It's still difficult.
Yes. I mean, I'm in the middle of one right now, and it gets to you a little bit. And these home arenas, a lot of these bad teams, where do they get most of their wins? They get them at home. They get wiped out when they go on the road. But let me look at what's Houston. I got the standings up right now. Houston's probably a bad example. Yeah, they're 7-17 at home. The Indiana Pacers 16-10 at home, 8-18 on the road.
See?
Much harder to beat there. That's obviously an example. The Spurs very beatable. The Pelicans are interesting. They're obviously tumbling right now. 9 in a row they've lost, but. Did you watch their Denver game last night?
I did not.
No.
It was on TNT. Right? They held with a fully healthy Denver team in Denver. Ingram looked better than he's looked recently. I think of the 5 left on this road trip, that's the one that's going to be the most difficult to get.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not going to be easy, but either way, the Kings are in a position potentially, even if they lose, like they come back to Sacramento 10 games above 500, and that's pretty significant for this group. And I'm curious for you. I know we talked before the season about expectations. I think most of us were like, play-in team, like they should be pretty competitive. And I know you like the Fox Sabonis dynamic beforehand. Now that we're approaching 50 games into the season for the Kings, where has this group surprised you most?
Offensively, right? I mean, they're elite in like an era of like absurdity from an offensive number standpoint. They are not. What are they sitting at today? I know they've been kind of flip flopping like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right. I think they're number 1 still.
Oh,
I mean, just that they're in that conversation is the big stunner. And I thought, Fox and Sabonis has a chance to work as a pick and roll pairing. Oh, I like some of the shooters that they've surrounded them with. That could be like the 8th best offense. Like I would have been feeling like I was being overly optimistic, saying like, it could be 7th, 8th best offense in the league. They're the top offense in the league. So.
It's bizarre, to be sitting here today and actually seeing that. But at the same time, you look too, the Sacramento Kings might have 2 all-stars. What are you feeling about their all-star chances coming up tomorrow?
I think Sabonis should be a lock. I was among the people that put him as a starter just because he was kind of.
Let's give it up for Anthony. Okay. He's not a casual. He watches the game. He understands the impact.
Facts.
So I think he should be the lock, and I would expect him to get in. Fox is more fringe. I do wonder if like a Devin Booker gets in, if a Zion gets in, then you could just flip Fox maybe on the backside as like an injury replacement. Yeah. Sometimes the league does that. So technically, 14 people are all-stars. But Fox is sitting probably in that alternates range, battling maybe with like Lillard. And I think Shea's more sure to get in than Fox, just considering what Shea has done lately and really what the Thunder have done lately.
That's fair.
The thing with Booker is I have not seen him play a game in how long? Like he has not played in 2023. Like I understand he's an all-star level player, and the Suns have dropped, without him out. I just, sorry, man, you don't make the team this year.
Are you one of those people, Slater, when it comes to like, hey, the amount of games you're playing?
Yeah, I do think games played matters, but also, I don't know. Some people are of the argument like, look, we're best players. This is representative of the era that these players went in, and like Kevin Durant, for example. Okay, he's been out for a little bit. Well, this season, when we read about this season and a decade from now, it shouldn't say Kevin Durant wasn't an all-star. It shouldn't say Devin Booker wasn't an all-star. But look, if you're out of the MVP race if you miss a certain amount of games. So, I mean, that's why Sabonis, I voted him as a starter. Like, if you said is Domantas Sabonis one of the 5 best players in the Western Conference? Probably say no, but has he been one of the 5 most important and 5 most deserving over this sample size? A 49-game sample size, which, by the way, if you care about team winning, like everyone so many teams in the West are disappointing. And his is exceeding expectations. So that's why I voted him in. So I would be more of the whatever the sample is in front of you, you should vote by.
I'm curious to get your perspective, and I've said I'm curious 7 times.
I'm so glad you noticed that. I was going to tell you that later.
Okay.
I'm a very curious guy, Anthony. I'm curious.
That's why we call you the cat.
Yes. De'Aaron Fox this season, it seems like he's taken a step. The efficiency's improved. 3-point shooting still right around 33%. Not great. What's jumped out to you about his game this season?
I just think like the maturity of it. The way he's absorbed the coaching of Mike Brown, I think that set the tone like right away. That he was like made it pretty clear, like I'm all in on this coaching hire. I'm all in on this idea that like we must defend to win. Not that they're defending at some elite level, but he's at least taken the Mike Brown like scoldings after quick timeouts. Fine, right? He's never complaining about it. He's gone the opposite way. He's embraced it. So I think that has impressed me. And then fourth quarter scoring. There's been plenty of games where he's just. It can go either way, and he's just kind of grabbed the game. And that's how you become 28 and 21 instead of 21 and 28, essentially. So just he might be, the best closer in the league so far if you just look at the first half of the season.
You obviously covered Mike Brown pretty close with the Warriors. You're seeing here as a head coach, he's been doing a great job bringing the best out of so many different guys, De'Aaron Fox being one of them, the rookie Keegan Murray. We were talking about that earlier. Something that we've noticed this season with the Kings is some of his rotations when, let's say, Rashawn Holmes isn't in the rotation, but then Domas doesn't play or something, and he has to play a game, does really well. You don't see him the next game. It's really interesting to see Mike Brown's tactics as a head coach. I'm curious if you ever noticed any of that, whether it's here as a head coach in Sacramento or even with just the times that you spoke with him in Golden State.
Yeah, well, I think he actually took a lot from Steve Kerr. And one of those things is like Steve Kerr, who was a career, fringe rotation piece. He was more secure at his Bulls days, but a lot of his career was a 10th man, an 11th man, a 12th man. Always believed like it's, and he said Steve got this from Phil Jackson, but it's like throw those guys in once in a while because they need to feel like they're part of the team. They need to just get their juices flowing a little bit. It keeps them more engaged in the season. So I think you're probably seeing a little bit of that with Mike. One thing that Steve, sometimes he didn't want to disrupt his bench rotation. So if a starter was out, he would throw somebody from more kind of like the back end of the rotation in as like the spot starter. I think you've seen that with Okpala.
We have.
Yeah. That's a big thing. He'd always do it with like Damian Lee. Like Damian Lee would almost not be in the rotation, and then you're like, oh, Damian Lee's starting tonight because
we saw that with Terrence Davis.
Yeah, Terrence Davis is a great example of that. Where like, oh, he's starting because Monk's out, and it's like, oh, okay, or not, or Herter was out, or whatever.
Yeah, and instead of putting Monk in the starting lineup, he's like, I don't want to mess with my second unit. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not wanting to disrupt, the flow of the second unit, the sub patterns, but also like, Terrence Davis is kind of a rhythm player at times. Like Terrence Davis, you probably shouldn't just leave him, gathering cobwebs for 3 weeks because there is going to be a time you need him out there, really need him, and you need him to get hot. And he's going to be like, I can't be hot. I haven't played a basketball game in 3.5 weeks. So there's some of that, I think.
All right, we're up against. I have one more for you. This is the one thing about radio. We have to actually take breaks.
Ugh.
If you had a prediction, I'm going to ask you a prediction. I don't know if you do predictions or not. Some people
Sure.
don't. Do you think the Kings get in the top 6? Like at the end of the season, they are in the top 6.
Yeah, I think so because like I don't like the West.
Yeah.
Like I know it's people are like, these Warriors could be rising soon. And I do think the Warriors are about to hit somewhat of a nice patch, but it's like to me, this is more indicative of not like how dangerous the West could be. It's just like I think a lot of these teams are gonna sit in that range, be around 500. Kings could be one of them. Kings could hit a rough patch. They need to stay healthy, particularly their 2 best players need to not miss extended time at all. If they can miss games here and there, but at this point, I don't know why you wouldn't say yes if you were just look. I predict based on like, I guess, what's the word I'm thinking of? Just like probabilities, and they've been the 3rd, 4th best team in the West. You'd say to this point, so I'm not saying it's a sure thing. They are close enough to 7, close enough to 8, 9, 10, really to fall down if they hit a slump. But I don't know why I would predict some of the teams under them to do. I mean, I'm not predicting some Pelicans surge right now or a Portland surge or anything like that.
That'd be so wild if that happened.
I know.
Well, Anthony, thanks so much for hanging out with us, man. Hopefully we see you soon.
Yep. Yeah. I think I'll be out there for one of those Dallas games.
Awesome.
Sweet. We'll see you then, Slater.
Yep.
That's the one and only Anthony Slater from The Athletic. I love his work over there. So check it out
So
on The
good.
Athletic. Coming up next, we'll talk more about that. He thinks the Kings could be in the top 6, huh? Who would have thunk that, huh?
Who would have thunk that?
We got so much to get to. Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Hey, chat. Let me just do a quick up. Oh, my goodness. We are approaching
16 away?
16 away with 36 to go.
16 away from a 40-point game.
Do you think we get there? Hit the thumbs up button is the point. If you like the content, you're enjoying it, you want it to stay live and local over here, hit the thumbs up because that just helps the channel grow.
Thanks,
Appreciate you
guys.
guys in the YouTube chat. Anthony's really good at his job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you guys haven't subscribed to The Athletic and to see some of his work, it is absolutely, it's just incredible. I don't know, just the way he breaks down the game, the way that he talks about the game. It's
generic.
He knows, and he does a great job writing about it.
Clint says your guests have been off the hook since you started last week.
Dude,
guys.
thank
Appreciate
you.
It's fun. We like having these conversations. We don't like to just book guests to book guests. So to have some really good people that, and some voices that you may not know.
Yeah.
That deserve to be heard too.
There's some really smart.
Tinkle time.
Tinkle time. It's tinkle time. Every time. Grammy winning stuff right there. Grammy? Yeah, I think that's it.
Maybe an EGOT. Maybe we could get it in a TV
I mean,
show.
I was in musical theater.
No.
Yes, I was. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. You like that?
I did.
Thank you. I could have played Annie. Oh, Mr. Warbucks. Is that his name?
I don't know. I've never seen any.
Mr. Warbucks, please give me more food.
What was the Little Mermaid song you used to sing all the time?
I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call it? Feet. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they play all day in the sun. I want to be, wish I could be part of the world. Thank you. Deuce would die. He'd be so pissed right now. Oh my God, we're almost at 300. Dude, I just did a number. Everyone loved it. We're almost at 300. I did a little scene from Little Mermaid.
West Side Kings fan threw tomatoes at you.
Hey, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I choose to only look at the tomatoes. That really jumps out on the screen. Everyone else is throwing.
They're saying versatile.
Well, we got 300. I'm honestly not happy about it.
Why? Because I had to sing?
Feels a little forced, you know.
Oh my god. Tina, you did it. What is forced about it?
I'm just kidding. People are giving me love. I'll have to go back and listen.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
It was very good.
Dramatic.
It was against me?
What?
You were taking shots at me.
No. I just literally, you would have been really mean if you were in here.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been like, you wish you were Ariel, bootleg Ariel. Like you would have said really mean things.
Long says I joined because you sang. So your singing's getting.
Thank you. She got vocals? Okay, we're getting you guys. Disney gonna be on the phone, says Joe.
Jacob said if you have to use two hands.
Cease and desist.
Yes. Jacob says if you have to use two hands to drink the water bottle, it's too big.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys make fun. I have really small hands. This is actually a normal size water bottle. My hands are just really small.
That's actually
It's like the hands from that
SNL.
Yeah.
Gilly. Isn't it Gilly?
Gilly.
Gilly.
Jay says, can you get Keegan Murray as a guest? You mean Keegan's dad? You know what's so funny about that? We're going to be on Keegan Murray's dad's podcast soon.
Let's go.
It would be great as if we're the show for all the Kings parents.
Yeah. King's parent, like Friday.
Oh, I would love that. Hey, what didn't you like about your kid's game? Break it down. Keegan needs to be more aggressive, you know? Get Mama Holmes on here. She'd be like,
Families? Wow, shot fired. What happened to her raspy speaking voice when she sings?
who me? You can change your vocals as you like. I don't know which one you like better.
Scotty, see, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, we're having fun with the people we're chatting with. We actually have Brendan Nunez from Kings Pulse / Kings Beat podcast coming in studio tomorrow in the 1 o'clock hour.
And then we have Frankie and Chris on Friday in the 1 o'clock hour.
Kings Roundtable on Friday.
Yep.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. Once again, Tom Brady is announcing that he is retiring after 23 seasons in the NFL. Brady finished with 7 Super Bowl championships, 6 with the Patriots and 1 with the Buccaneers. He also retires with several NFL records, including most quarterback wins, most career passing touchdowns, and most career passing yards. Brady will now most likely transfer to the booth after he signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox. Tonight's Pistons-Wizards game has been postponed, with the Pistons stuck in Dallas following an ice storm. The NBA is also working with the New Orleans Pelicans, who are scheduled to play in Dallas against the Mavericks on Thursday. The Kings' road trip continues, and they are back in action tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. You can listen to the game starting with game night at 3:30 and tip-off scheduled for 5, right here on Sactown Sports. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
We find out Thursday afternoon if De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis make the All-Star team. It would be so sweet. It'd be crazy to think that the Kings would have 2 All-Stars. I'm not sure many people would have predicted that before the season, but here we are getting ready for Kings and Spurs tonight. The Kings are sitting at 28-21 and a great opportunity in front of them. Can you honestly believe that they could have 2 All-Stars?
No.
It's surreal especially with how a year ago when this trade happened. When did that trade's almost coming up on the year anniversary?
Is it? There's just too much joy that is happening surrounding the Kings this season that it's hard to process everything. Oh,
when was this? I'm sorry. I'm February. Wow.
What was it?
Was it really February 9th or February 8th? Okay, February 8th. So a week from today is a 1-year anniversary of the trade. These 2 teams play again Friday night. in Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton could be back for that game. Sounds like he might be back tonight against the Lakers. Sabonis' first opportunity to face his former team. But, I remember once that trade went down, and I know we've spent so much time talking about the reaction to it, but one of the things that some people brought up who were even rational about it were like, yeah, I know Sabonis has been an all-star, but is he going to actually be an all-star in the West? Like, he may not be an all-star again. Here he is playing the best basketball he's ever played. And in turn, De'Aaron Fox, so many people questioning him after last year. People thought last year should have been his breakout year. It's year 5. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
This was his year this year, and he has a legit shot to be on the NBA Western Conference All-Star team.
I mean, there's a lot of angles you can go about this. It shows that so many players develop at different stages in their careers at different paces. It shows you how important the situation is. And I think we already know that, but sometimes I think people just don't believe that. There's so many people who still wanted to hate on De'Aaron Fox throughout the season, throughout the years. And I mean, some of it was, I understood, right? It was like, wow, he's not consistent with this. It wasn't like, oh man, he's getting hurt all the time or anything. It was things that it seemed like he could control. And that's why you saw in this 6th season that it's consistent. It's taken a leap mentally, physically, in so many different directions, but also because the roster has taken a leap in so many different directions. The coaching staff has taken a leap. It all needs to come together to allow there to be this type of success.
All that stuff matters, right?
It does.
Absolutely. And I think there are too many times we dismiss it like, oh no, if he's great, he should just be leading this team. It's like, no, you do need the shooting around him, right? He's not a perfect player. He's not a great 3-point shooter. Sabonis, not a great 3-point shooter, although the numbers are better this year.
Yeah.
You got to have shooting around him. You have to have playmaking. They have things around this team now that enhances his abilities. And in turn, like you said, the maturity has taken a huge leap. His game, the way he moves out there on the floor, he can kill you with the speed, but he could slow you down. Hit the midi too. Oof.
It's his athletic ability, right? Just to change pace and control his body. And obviously, someone's maturity is not something that you can measure out. It's not something that you can see, oh, by the stats this year, I can tell that they're going to be more mature when they're 25 years old. Like, we're humans. Like, everyone has different ways that they go about life and they mature on and off the floor. Sometimes it's what goes on in your life, and sometimes it's just you looking in the mirror and going, oh yeah, I'm going to hold myself accountable and I want to be better. I want to live up to this or whatever it may be. And you're seeing that on this level with the Sacramento Kings because there's actual leadership that is in this city as well. But yeah, you told me in the beginning of the season that there was going to be 2 All-Stars and the Kings were going to be at the top of the West.
Near the top?
I'm sorry. Yeah, near the top. I always say top of the West, but
it feels like the top to us. Number 3, like that's the top.
No, it does. Yeah. It does. But near the top of the West, yeah, I wouldn't have believed it.
Let's give some love to the people watching us live on YouTube. We appreciate people driving around, listening to the old school way, but you can also hit us up on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. We asked for it and we got it. Back-to-back days of 300 thumbs up! Oh yeah, play the Ellen music. I don't know why this makes me think of Ellen every time I hear it.
She does a lot of feet dancing.
We appreciate the thumbs up. All it does is help the channel grow so more people get exposed to Kings content, to NBA content, to sports content right here in Sacramento. So keep those rolling in. Appreciate all the love. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Pizza is a fantastic radio show.
What? Thank you. Pizza Spork. Thank you so much. Too kind. What you did?
I'm moving on.
Wait, I forgot that Deuce.
It's not a radio. Stop calling her. Do
not
use the word radio show.
Do not.
No, it's bigger than that.
What do you? So if someone was to say, what you just want to hear?
It's a show.
Love the show.
Love the show.
All right, you two getting a little picky.
I'm looking in a camera right now. I'm looking at comments on YouTube. Yeah, we break, but we stay live during the breaks on YouTube. It's a show. We keep it rolling. I do want to get the Kings-Spurs tonight, Morgan.
Yeah.
I know I joked in the beginning, like, yeah, can we light the beam early? I'm having a little fun, but this is a great opportunity for the Kings to take on a Spurs team that is struggling. They've lost 6 in a row. They got like 1 win sprinkled in there. They're losing a lot of basketball games right now. Morgan Reagan, it's not a very good team. They're not really focused on winning per se. They don't have a lot of talent. Vassell's out with an injury. They're a little banged up. Romeo Langford, he's been nice for them too at times. He's questionable for tonight's game. It's a game that the Kings should win. How are you feeling headed into this game tonight?
I feel confident coming off of that win against Minnesota. I think if we were looking at this against the Spurs and it was turned around, let's say their first game against Minnesota was what that win looked like, and then their loss looked like what Saturday's loss looked like, I would be a little worried going into San Antonio because it would be like, oh, trap game. How are you going to pick up your defense? It doesn't matter who it's against. It's the NBA. You're going up against NBA players no matter what. And you have to be locked in. And against the Spurs, it's Greg Popovich in the Spurs. He gets guys to stay disciplined, to listen to him, to still play basketball the right way. And that's the only thing that ever worries me. And I think sometimes when you look at these games and you want to just look past it, that's when you get in trouble.
Yep.
You have to come in and play your game.
You can't look past it all. The Spurs are 14-37, though. They're 9-19 on the home floor. The rookie Jeremy Sochan, who does the weird free throw shooting, right?
Just one hand.
Just one hand. What do you think about the one hand?
Love it. Love it. I love it. If it's not working the other ways and it's in your mind, shoot it with the one.
Here's what's
hand.
wild about it. His first 23 games before he started that.
Yeah.
He was shooting just under 46% at the free throw line. Since he did the new routine where he doesn't have his guide hand, he literally just one hand goes up. 76% from the line.
Boom.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
I actually love the fact that do what works for you.
Thank you.
It's a free throw. So many people are like, no, I'm going to stick to my routine. It's like, no, find something that works. I don't care if it looks goofy. It does look goofy, right? It goes in. It's like back in the day, Rick Barry would do the underhand free throw and it would work.
Doesn't his son still do that in the G League?
Canyon Barry?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still in the G League. It seems like he's been there for like 20 years with the Iowa Wolves.
Correct.
Great knowledge.
Thank you.
But yeah, Canyon Barry would do that.
Yeah.
It's Sochan's just going up there. It's like, I used to shoot 46. Now I'm shooting just under 77%.
Think about it. I mean, there's so many players that could have learned from that. So many bigs over the years, like before they evolved their shot, where you're like, if you had just made that one change, you could have been so much better at that free throw line.
Sochan, by the way, is actually putting together some nice numbers
as
of late. In his last 7 games, 18.6 rebounds, 51% shooting. He's 11 for 21 from three-point land. I just bring him up because he's like one of those guys that, he's a Spurs first-round pick. He's a young guy. They see some potential in him. And the last time the Kings played, remember, he was John at De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, and then what De'Aaron do?
Fox went, he yacked it, dunked on his head.
What'd you say?
Yacked it.
Oh, yacked it.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It just sounds good. Does it say yeah?
He yacked it?
On his face.
On his face.
Yeah.
I agree.
The other guy that honestly is one you get concerned about is Pirtle. I feel like Pirtle kills the Kings every time.
He does.
He's got great size. I'm not concerned about this game, but there are numbers with this game that could be concerning. We could talk about it. I realize we have to break. We got Rami coming up. We're going to talk more about this game. Kings and Spurs tonight. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Look at us just going and talking, and then I look up at the clock and go, oops, we have to break.
I'll keep it, and I know. I'll keep it to one big screen. Hi, Rami. I'm so glad you made it out of the elevator.
I got stuck in an elevator once, and it was because and my buddies were. This sounds so stupid.
Because it is
so stupid. So we were pretending to wrestle in the elevator, like WWE.
Ask him how old he was.
Late 20s.
No, you were like, dude, this was like
30s?
3 years ago.
So early 30s?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in my early 30s still. And so we were doing fake wrestling, and all of a sudden we just feel the and the elevator stopped. And we got stuck in it, and we had to hit the button. And then we told people, it wasn't. It just stopped. We don't know what happened. You weren't doing that.
Nothing stupid. I
Okay.
just got on the elevator and it wouldn't move.
That's
like a normal person.
That's just that's when you know that's not your day either. It's like, I got to go to work today, and then you get in the elevator and you're just.
And I was
stuck.
feeling like it was my day to that point.
Oh,
man. It was one of those days where it's like I'm feeling good. I got a good night's sleep. Got a workout
I'm going early to
got
work.
a good show planned. I'm out the door for work on time.
Dude, Cattles came in because it was funny. We're like, next up, Cattles and Rami, and they're like, well, is he okay?
Cattles took a little too much excitement in this.
Like, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is something for the show." I'm like, the guy's stuck in a dark elevator right now.
He texted me, "Thanks for the material."
You're like, yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Did you wait? How long were you actually stuck in there?
Probably like 45 minutes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No one else was in there, right?
No, it was just me.
That would have been pretty
Would that
funny if
been
he was like
work?
doing a radio show.
Yeah.
Or a show.
Would that have been? Would you have rather been in there with someone else?
Someone else I know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be on
like
there
not a
with
stranger.
No, I don't do well with strangers.
Yeah.
That'd be a long time to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Like, so, have you ever been stuck in an elevator before?
Right. What do you even say?
Yeah.
My girlfriend offered, because I was literally on I said this on the air yesterday. My apartment is like across the hall from the elevator, so that was kind of the most frustrating thing. I could hear my own dog barking. Like I was feet away from home, but stuck in a dark box.
Question: did it ever go down or
It
anything?
never moved at all. The door just
that's
closed
so
and would not open. So my girlfriend offered to sit outside the door and talk to me and keep me
Aw.
company while I was stuck on there. I was like, you know what? In a couple hours, if I'm still here, I might take you up on that. But right now, I'll scroll Twitter and maybe call into the radio show.
Serious question: did you take the stairs down after?
Yes. Well, the elevator wasn't working after.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I literally just darted out the building.
And you
after
had
the
no
door.
problem getting in the elevator today. You were like, no, I'm
No,
cool.
today it's been fine. Yeah. No,
You didn't have like any trepidation. You
my
were
girlfriend was like, "Are you sure you want to get on the?" I was like, "We live on the 4th floor." I was like,
Yeah.
I have a little apprehension, but we're just gonna have to get over it.
also like, what are the odds? Right.
These knees are not doing 4 floors up and down every day. That's just not feasible.
Oh my God!
You act like you're an old broken man.
Yeah,
I have the knees of an 80-year-old.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you an athlete?
Yeah, I played football and I was also really overweight for a long time. So I was like 30. So that did a lot of damage. I've had surgery on both of them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm told that replacement is probably in my future. For at least one of them, at least maybe both of them, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, keep taking the elevator. Whether it gets stuck or not. Oh my God.
Well, I can still do things. It's just there's a lot of wear and tear on them.
Yeah.
That's all.
Have you walked around downtown yet at
Oh,
all?
yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I walk my dog every day.
Cool.
Yeah. All
Oh,
over
that's-
the place. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's as long as you're like pretty much in the right areas, there's something so lively about it lately. I don't know. It's a good time.
It's
Fun city to
definitely
walk in.
Yeah.
It's a fun city
Yeah.
to walk
It
in. I
is
think.
for sure. And the weather is getting better now.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's definitely a better vibe in my neighborhood than it was when I first moved here.
Oh,
For sure.
well,
I don't know all the dynamics and what changed
Yeah.
or whatnot, but yeah, there's definitely a better. When I first moved here, I told people, is the pandemic still going on? Like bars and restaurants were just randomly closed all the time.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's a little more lively and
There were a
busy and
lot of
bustling.
businesses with like they couldn't figure out when to get their workers in, waiters in, whoever. And it was just, I remember there's places that I loved and I would check like, oh, they're closed on Monday, Wednesdays now. And oh, wait, but they're also closed at
Yeah.
like 2 p.m. on these days. And it was so sad because I was just like, it never feels open. But yeah, now
Things
it's
feel normal.
Yeah.
Things feel more normal now.
good. And now, I mean, and we've been talking about with the Kings winning, it's, yeah.
Oh yeah, that helps for sure.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Deuce Mason, Morgan, Reagan taking you till 2 p.m. Then it's Cattles and Rami. We got Rami in the house right now. We're just talking about him adjusting to life in Sacramento. I mean, how long has it been now, though? It's
I moved here on July 1st.
Oh,
so
wow,
we're
okay.
coming up on what, 7 months?
Okay, so
7 months?
it's so new.
Yeah,
it's so
7 months.
new for you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
for
come
sure.
here, it's like 120 degrees for probably 3 months.
Yes.
And then we just finished like 2.5 straight months of rain.
In
the monsoon.
hurricane weather.
Yeah. So really weird stuff. So this is like the first time, although a little chilly. This is, I mean, for you.
No, this isn't. This is
nothing.
beautiful.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is spring.
This is the
Where I come
coldest I have
from.
ever been.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
enjoying
you.
peak Sacramento in a way. I mean,
Yeah.
fall is really nice too, potentially. But
Yeah. Fall and then as
Spring.
we go into
Yeah, yeah.
spring, this is when
it's been nice though.
when
lately.
the leaves start coming back and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
right-
I'm loving the weather lately. It's a little chilly in the morning, but
Good.
the weather lately has been like it's like perfect, like my perfect temperature here. Like,
Okay.
it's great.
Do you have a favorite spot you like going to? It doesn't matter, bar, restaurant, whatever, or just an area.
I walk through Capitol Park with my dog every morning. Like they all got pruned now, but I would literally just, you know how they say stop and smell the roses?
Yeah.
I literally every morning while walking my dog, I'd just stop for a second, just stop for 1 second and then just start
It's
walking.
so satisfying, right?
It really is.
This is great though, because Morgan did this one time years ago. She had a stressful day. She pulled over to go stop and smell the roses.
Literally.
And she got a ticket.
Literally.
Which is the best thing ever.
I wasn't great at parking in downtown. Like I just wasn't familiar at the time. And I was like, you know what? No, I just need to go smell these roses. Like just stop and smell the roses, park my car. And then I go, come back. Someone's writing a ticket. And I'm like, nope, can't win today.
You know, something that you may not know about Capitol Park.
Yes.
You know, they have one of every
I did know that. Yeah, somebody told me that when I
Yeah.
first moved here. I think it was when I came for the interview, when I came to visit for the interview, the concierge at the hotel told me I was about to go walk through the park, and they were like, fun fact about that park, and they told me exactly what you just told me.
I hope that's fake.
They beat you
No.
to it. No,
I know
that's
it's
true.
not,
Yeah.
but it would be great. It's
But seven of those trees have now blown down.
Oh,
so,
yeah, there's
It's
trees.
It was a disaster zone
Awful.
the day after those storms.
That
It's
doesn't
crazy.
happen in Sacramento, by the way.
I
So
know.
that's why
It does now.
Well,
It's
it
a
does.
different time.
You guys are talking about me and acclimating to the weather and everything. My girlfriend moved here on New Year's Day, and for 2 weeks, she didn't see the sun or the beam.
Did she hate?
Because the Kings went on a losing
Just be
streak.
honest. Did she kind of hate Sacramento?
No,
at
she
first?
knew.
Okay.
She knew what was going on and that this was very out of the ordinary, but it was just she did not get the Sacramento experience for her first 2 weeks here. She didn't see sunlight or the purple beam shining into the
No,
sky.
it did. It felt like Seattle for
It
2
did.
weeks. I was like, okay. I was
really
getting
did.
a little depressed.
Yeah, a lot of rain and no basketball.
Yeah.
Ooh, shots fired at Seattle.
Well played.
Dang,
Well played,
Chris.
Vermont.
That was great. I was joking at the start of the show. I'm like, is it too early to light the beam for tonight? The Kings should win tonight.
They should win tonight.
Okay,
I said that before the road trip. You're a team now where you can look, because me and Nick like to take chunks of schedule and look ahead.
Okay.
6-7 games, depending on what it is and how exactly we're looking at it. And I said before this road trip, you're a team now that can look at the schedule and say, that's a W, that's a W, that's a W. And there aren't too many times where you look at, I'm not saying it never happens.
Yeah.
If you got the Celtics or the Bucks or maybe Memphis or Denver and they're healthy, you might go, okay, that's a game we probably lose. But there are very few games on the schedule that I look at and I write an L next to it. But there are plenty of games that I look at and I write a W next to it. And this is one of them tonight.
I think I'm more traumatized or triggered from, like we've talked about, from previous years in Sacramento. And not to say it's obviously not the same team. It's obviously not the same regime, coaching staff, nothing. But at the same time, it's like, I haven't seen consistent winning basketball for so long. I'm like, why should I believe it now? Show me for an entire season.
It's hard.
And then I'll be there.
It's hard to trust again. You know what I mean? It's hard to trust again when a team has hurt you and broken your heart so many times. It's hard to trust.
A couple of concerning numbers.
Oh.
Spurs are 5th in offensive rebounds.
Okay.
3rd in points in the paint. And 6th in second chance points.
These are areas where the Kings do struggle.
Yeah. So, and Pirtle's he gives Sabonis some fits sometimes.
Dude, you guys, and I'm not trying to be that person. Hey, let me convince you otherwise, guys. I'm just saying, I think too many people today are going into this game like that.
Because I have another number for you.
Let's hear it.
Make me feel better.
They have They have the third worst 3-point percentage in the NBA. And they allow teams to shoot 40% from 3, which is on pace to be the 3rd worst in NBA history.
Now hear me out here. This is my deep basketball knowledge. 3-pointers, worth more than points in the paint. So if you can hit your threes,
it's over.
And data suggests that you can't hit your threes against this team, even if they score points in the paint. Should be able to win.
Is that part of the points in the paint?
Is that part of the Makloff theorem?
Yes, that is the Makloff theorem. If you guys don't know it, the more points you score, the more points you can allow and still win a game. And the inverse is also true, that the fewer points you allow, the fewer you must score to win.
This has me choked up. I'm like, this is stunning information. I did not expect this. Rami,
I'm like a statistician type.
a
You know,
damn
I'm
genius.
deep in the analytics. I dive deep into those numbers.
I know, by the way, we don't have time for closing time, and that's totally fine. I do have a question. Morgan is so over the Tom Brady story.
Oh, yeah.
Second retirement, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Because I feel like most people around here are just like, I don't care. Like, yeah, he tried to do it last year. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I don't.
How's Nick doing? Is he hanging out?
I don't know. We'll see how he's doing here in a couple of minutes. Nick, a New England native from the Northeast, so he's a big Patriots guy. He does a Patriots podcast. So obviously, he's got the feels for Tom Brady. I don't say this like to be a contrarian or to like. I'm not doing like a Skip Bayless act.
Same.
I think the guy's a little overrated. I think Tom Brady, like for people to just,
you know what? I think I remember you bringing this up before, and I have heard you this with he's over.
So I mean, like, it's almost like you can't say he's not the GOAT. Like we can't have any discussion that Tom Brady is not the single greatest football player to have ever lived. And I don't look like a crazy person saying it. Like it's one of those things that you can't push back on at all.
I did not see that coming, and I kind of love it.
Yeah, just to be clear, 7 Super Bowls.
Yes, the Patriots won 7 Super Bowls. Well, the Patriots won 6, and the Buccaneers won 1 with Tom Brady doing a fine job at quarterback.
Hey.
He's a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's not great. Just
Rami.
maybe not the greatest is all I'm saying.
Team
Am I allowed
sport.
to say that?
Team sport.
Thank you.
There we go.
Who is the greatest? quarterback of
Who's
all
your
time?
greatest?
That's a hard question.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
hard
loaded question.
That's a very loaded question.
Not loaded. Pretty easy.
No, I like this. I'm sticking up for Rami. It's a loaded question.
You know what? I know where Verlad is going, and I don't think we're too far away from legitimately being able to say it. I think he says it a little bit tongue in cheek. I don't think we're too far away from legitimately being able to say Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Vaughn Mahomes.
Oh, so sorry.
He's pretty
So
special. Yeah, I think he has done something we just haven't seen at that position before.
Yeah.
And so that's fair. And he's getting ready for another Super Bowl. He's 27 years
It's
old.
insane. It's insane. The guy like almost doesn't lose, and his team, I think, once in his career has not been favored to win. There's a reason for that. He's amazing.
When he retires, I'll cry.
Yeah. Well, coming up next, Kettles and Rami. And yeah, we will celebrate Tom Brady by saying he's overrated today on Cals and Rami. We love you guys, but we got to go.
See ya.